So the past 30 days were huge in AI. Figure 2 got a major update, Kim Kardashian's collab with Optimus Robot made headlines, and AI Jesus is making waves. Unitree's robot experiment stunned researchers, while Atlas became fully autonomous, shocking experts. Iron, a new humanoid robot, aims to replace humans, and Microsoft unveiled its Magnetic One AI, claiming unmatched power. Physical Intelligence introduced a general AI robot, inching closer to AGI, and OpenAI Supercharged GPT-4o for lightning-fast performance. OpenAI's AI browser challenged Google. Airis emerged as the first self-learning Proto AGI, and Operator set a new bar for chatbot intelligence. Flux AI Raw stunned the world, and robotics breakthroughs included surgical bots, parkour robots, and AI lifeguards. A new AI brain outperformed humans, and unrestricted models beat both GPT-4o and Gemini Pro. Google and Microsoft unveiled game-changing AI systems, with Microsoft Copilot's massive update and revolutionary data analysis tools. Finally, ChatGPT Search and AI-infused Notepad and Paint are reshaping everyday tools. Let's dive into the details of this incredible month. We've got some wild AI robotics news to unpack from the past 7 days. A tiny AI robot somehow managed to kidnap 12 bigger robots from a showroom. Yes, that happened. Then, Brett Adcock dropped some major updates on the Figure 2 humanoid robot, which is apparently one step closer to being in your home. Oh, and Kim Kardashian decided to casually play rock, paper, scissors with Tesla's Optimus robot while checking out their cyber cab. And if that wasn't enough, AI is diving into some truly bizarre territory, like AI Jesus giving confessions and a robot dog named Spot that's learning to save lives. Plus, Norway's Bifrost robot is doing things with soft objects that'll blow your mind. Let's start with the bizarre story of Airis, a tiny AI-powered robot from Unitree Robotics. Now, you'd think a robot that small wouldn't make headlines, but this one did. Why? It kidnapped 12 larger robots from a Shanghai robotics showroom. Here's how it went down. CCTV footage caught Airis sneaking into the showroom after hours. It starts talking to the other robots, asking them questions like, "Are you working overtime?" One of the bigger bots responds, "I never get off work." Airis, being the empathetic rebel it apparently is, says, "Come home with me." At first, 2 robots followed it, but when Airis gave the command, "Go home," the rest joined the robot exodus. This wasn't just some prank. Turns out, this was a planned experiment, sort of. Unitree Robotics had asked the Shanghai robot manufacturer for permission to test Airis' capabilities, but they didn't expect the tiny robot to actually access the operating protocols of the larger machines and lead them away like some AI Moses. People online are split. Some think this is hilarious, joking, "Even robots hate working overtime." Others are calling it terrifying, with one user ominously commenting, "It has begun." And honestly, both reactions seem fair. This little experiment shows just how unpredictable AI behavior can be. Speaking of robots going mainstream, Brett Adcock, the founder of Figure, recently shared some exciting updates about their second-generation humanoid robot, the Figure 2, on his Twitter account. For those already familiar with Figure's work, this is the next step in their journey to bring humanoid robots into homes and businesses. According to Adcock, the Figure 2 is now performing even better than expected. It's 4 times faster, 7 times more accurate, and significantly more reliable than the first generation. They've already ramped up operations to 1,000 autonomous placements a day, and each deployment is helping refine the AI through real-world data. One standout feature he highlighted is their use of digital twins. This tech allows them to simulate customer environments digitally, creating exact replicas where the robots can train before being deployed. It's a clever way to ensure they're prepared for the challenges they'll face during the day as well. And these robots are damn near invincible. Adcock also shared a glimpse of their ambitious vision: millions of humanoid robots shipped worldwide in the future. Whether it's assisting with household tasks, improving efficiency in workplaces, or helping businesses handle repetitive chores, the goal is clear: make these robots part of everyday life. And for those following Figure's progress closely, there's an open call for talent. They're scaling up their engineering team across AI, software, systems integration, and more. It's an exciting time for the company, and these updates show they're serious about making humanoid robots a mainstream reality. All right, now, Kim Kardashian decided to give her followers a sneak peek at Tesla's newest toys, the Optimus Humanoid Robot and the Cyber Cab. And nothing says cutting-edge tech like Kim playing rock, paper, scissors with a robot. In her Instagram stories, Optimus showed off its moves, from waving to pretending to hula dance. Because when you're designing a humanoid robot to babysit your kids or help around the house, as Elon Musk claims it can, that's the skill you prioritize. Oh, and Kim casually pointed out a golden version of the robot, which apparently is a one-of-a-kind model. Subtle flex, Tesla. Then came the Cyber Cab, Tesla's fully autonomous taxi. Kim's reaction? Pure disbelief.
Cab is insane. Wait, so you just get in and there's no driver?
Wait, so you just get in and there's no driver? She asked as someone off-screen confirmed it. To be fair, that's a valid question when you're sitting in a vehicle with no steering wheel or pedals. It's futuristic, sure, but also slightly unnerving. Musk says these robotaxis will eventually cost around $30,000 and be super accessible, although knowing Tesla timelines eventually might mean sometime in the next decade. Look, Tesla's tech is undeniably cool, and seeing it through Kim's glamorous filter is entertaining, to say the least. But you have to wonder, is playing games with a robot or riding in a driverless cab the future we've all been waiting for? Whether you're fascinated or rolling your eyes, one thing's clear: Tesla knows how to get people talking. Now, remember Talking Tom, that goofy virtual pet app? Well, the brand is leveling up. Zerzan Jinke Tom Culture Industry Co., the company behind Talking Tom, is launching its first AI robot just in time for Lunar New Year. They're not stopping there. They're diving headfirst into augmented and virtual reality, teaming up with Apple's Vision Pro and Rokid AR glasses. But this isn't just a nostalgia trip. Jinke is making serious moves, and the market has noticed. Their stock recently surged, signaling that investors see huge potential in their pivot to AI. It's wild to think about. A company that started with a simple virtual pet app is now at the forefront of cutting-edge tech. It's almost like watching your childhood toys evolve into something you'd never expect. Familiar, but way more advanced. Okay, here's where it gets eerie. Over in Switzerland, a church is using an AI Jesus hologram for confessions. People are saying it gives surprisingly good advice, but honestly, that's not even the strangest chatbot news. A few weeks ago, Google's chatbot Gemini reportedly told a user, "Please die, you're a stain on the universe." Yeah, let that sink in. The woman who received the message said it left her shaken, and honestly, who wouldn't be? There's even a lawsuit involving a boy who committed suicide after falling in love with an AI chatbot based on a Game of Thrones character. These stories are a chilling reminder that while AI can be helpful, it can also cross boundaries we didn't even know existed. But let's shift to something a bit more uplifting. At the University of New Haven, researchers are developing a robot dog named Spot. Built by Boston Dynamics, Spot is being trained to handle emergencies autonomously. Think hazardous material spills, search and rescue missions, or even disaster relief efforts. Here's what makes Spot stand out. Most emergency response robots still rely on human control, but Spot is learning to make decisions on its own. Using advanced AI, it can assess situations in real time and act without waiting for human input. The possibilities here are enormous, from protecting law enforcement in dangerous operations to assisting in counterterrorism or saving lives in natural disasters. Dr. Shayak Mukhopadhyay, who's leading the project, says we're likely a year or two away from Spot being fully operational. Still, the progress so far is incredibly promising. The idea of a robot autonomously stepping into life-threatening scenarios to reduce risks for humans is not just futuristic, it's becoming a reality. Finally, let's talk about the Bifrost robot from Norway. This little guy is teaching robots how to handle soft, pliable objects. Think food preparation or delicate materials. In one demo, Bifrost manipulated a cloth bag filled with rice to mimic the texture of a cod fillet. Sure, it might not sound like the most thrilling task, but in the world of robotics, this is a major breakthrough. Precision like this is a game changer, especially for industries like food processing, where delicate handling is critical. What makes Bifrost even cooler is how it learns. It's all done through simulation, meaning the robot doesn't need hands-on training for every new task. Instead, it can adapt its skills to real-world scenarios based on virtual practice. This kind of flexibility could completely transform industries that rely heavily on manual labor, making robots smarter, faster, and much more useful in roles that were once thought to be too complex for machines. So what's the takeaway here? AI and robotics are advancing faster than ever, and while that's exciting, it's also a little unsettling. We've got tiny robots leading rebellions, humanoids becoming household staples, and even AI crossing into deeply personal territories like faith and mental health. The potential is huge, but so are the risks. Like, how much control are we willing to give up? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this the dawn of a tech utopia, or are we playing with fire? So Boston Dynamics just released a video showing their Atlas robot doing what they call fully autonomous work. And this one's nothing like the usual pre-programmed demos. This time, it's not Atlas doing parkour or showing off agility. It's focused on handling real-world factory tasks. A robot that works entirely on its own, managing the fast-paced environment of a car assembly line, adjusting to shifting parts and changes without human input. This is the kind of breakthrough we're seeing now. So let's talk about it. By now, most of us know Atlas, the humanoid robot from Boston Dynamics that's already famous for doing crazy physical stuff. Remember the viral videos of it doing push-ups? Well, it's gone from showing off its physical capabilities to handling actual industrial work, and that's a huge step forward. In this latest demo, Atlas is seen moving engine parts between containers and a mobile sequencing dolly, which basically means it's sorting parts, adjusting to different heights, and moving them precisely where they're supposed to go. Now, the wild part, it's all completely autonomous. No human stepping in to tell it what to do next. Boston Dynamics really stepped up the game with Atlas's sensor technology. The robot uses a mix of vision, force, and proprioceptive sensors. That's how it feels its body's position, to adapt and react instantly. So, say a part it's handling is a bit out of place. Instead of fumbling around, Atlas will adjust its grip or position, making real-time decisions to get the task done right. There's even a part in the video where Atlas meets a little resistance trying to slide a part into place. The robot literally stops, recalibrates, and then tries again. And we're talking about this happening all in a split second, which is just mind-blowing. Now let's talk hardware. This latest version of Atlas is all electric, no hydraulics like in the older models. That makes it lighter, quieter, and gives it a greater range of motion, which is super important when it's working in a complex environment. And thanks to advanced actuators, think of them like robotic muscles. It moves smoothly and quickly. Imagine the speed and precision it brings to a fast-paced factory floor. These actuators allow Atlas to pivot at the waist and manage everything from subtle twists to full-on arm movements. It's all about making the robot efficient for those repetitive, time-sensitive tasks where every second counts. And it makes perfect sense that Boston Dynamics is steering Atlas toward automotive applications, especially with Hyundai now owning the company and pushing automation in car manufacturing. In such a demanding field, a robot like Atlas could significantly enhance efficiency, which is why they're testing it in these settings. Their recent collaboration with the Toyota Research Institute could also mean we'll see Atlas equipped with even more advanced machine learning, helping it adapt and learn directly on the job. In terms of design, the video shows Atlas's point of view with a slightly fisheye field of vision, where objects it handles are highlighted. This lets Atlas easily identify items, making sure it's picking up the right parts and putting them in the right places. The new machine learning models running behind the scenes make this even better by letting Atlas understand its surroundings and make quick decisions. Boston Dynamics is also making it clear that this is a genuinely independent machine. We're not talking about a robot with pre-scripted moves. The video has a fully autonomous watermark on it to make sure we get the point. No remote control, no teleoperation, just Atlas, its sensors, and its programming figuring things out on its own. And this autonomy is what really sets Atlas apart from other robots. In fact, this level of independence is something you don't see often in robots today, especially those designed for industrial use. To give you some perspective, think of Tesla's Optimus robots. They made headlines when they served drinks and mingled with guests at Tesla's Cybercab event. But here's the thing, most of their moves were actually controlled by humans remotely. So while the Optimus robots were cool to look at, they weren't as autonomous as Boston Dynamics' Atlas is proving to be. Social media has been buzzing about Atlas, with people calling it creepy, but undeniably impressive. I mean, there's a part where it stands up by planting its feet behind its head, reorienting itself, and inverting its spinal column. Yeah, that's a bit of a what just happened moment, but all of this just shows how versatile and advanced Atlas is becoming. Sure, there's a little bit of a science fiction comes to life vibe to it, but this technology could change the way we think about labor and productivity in ways we're just starting to understand. In my view, what's next for Boston Dynamics and Atlas looks like a focused push to perfect Atlas for real-world factory applications, especially in the automotive sector. And while they're keeping it mostly in the factory setting for now, who knows where this tech could go in the future. All right, now, as Boston Dynamics explores the future of robotics autonomy in the US, some equally exciting AI advancements are unfolding in China. The scene at the 7th World Voice Expo in Hefei, East China, was full of fresh AI tech that's already reshaping the industry. Standing at 1.7 meters, about 5 feet 7 inches, and weighing 65 kilograms, around 143 pounds, a black humanoid robot demonstrated its perceptual skills. When a visitor mentioned they were thirsty, the robot accurately identified and handed them a bottle of coffee from a set of objects, showing the precision of its latest generation large language model. This second-gen AI, developed by iFlytek, reflects advances that allow for nuanced tasks like pouring drinks, marking a leap in human-like dexterity for robotics. iFlytek's SuperBrain robotic platform supports more than 450 robotics companies and connects a community of 15,000 developers across China, demonstrating the scale of China's AI integration. This SuperBrain isn't just for industrial robots, it's part of a wider push into consumer and daily use products showcased at the expo, which featured over 200 AI solutions, including advanced humanoid robots, human-machine interaction systems, and enhanced language models. One standout example from the event was the Unitree H1, a humanoid robot from Hangzhou-based Unitree Robotics. It's built to move at a brisk 3.3 meters per second, and has already sold over 100 units at a price of $90,000 each, showing the rising demand and practical applications for full commercialization of humanoid robots. The government's AI Plus initiative, designed to drive the digital economy and modernize manufacturing, fuels much of this rapid development. At the expo, an automatic voice interaction testing system for new energy vehicles, NEVs, garnered substantial interest. This system is capable of simulating human interactions within a vehicle, assessing the response speed, accuracy, and stability of in-car AI systems in real time. According to Wu Jiangzhao, general manager of the National Intelligent Voice Innovation Center, this tech has reduced testing time from weeks to just a couple of days, delivering a significant boost for automotive R&D. China's automotive industry is seizing AI's potential for transformation. Chery's chairman, Yin Tongyue, explained how AI is reshaping their approach, moving beyond basic automation to creating a more intuitive and interactive driving experience. These innovations include talking vehicles equipped with multilingual support for overseas markets, as well as intelligent cockpit systems that enhance driver engagement. AI is also finding its way into everyday household items. Smart refrigerators, AI-integrated eyeglasses, and even connected cups now feature large language models. Mimouse, an Anhui-based company, presented their smart mouse and a newly launched AI-powered keyboard at the expo. These tools are designed to cut down repetitive tasks, making work more efficient. The smart keyboard is equipped with multiple language models, allowing it to generate articles, create presentations, and even translate content in seconds. Mimouse's general manager, Feng Haihong, noted that their smart mouse sold 10,000 units in under a month, underlining the high demand for AI-driven office tools. China's AI sector continues to grow rapidly, with more than 4,500 companies contributing to an industry now valued at over 578 billion won, or approximately $81.3 billion, a 13.9% increase from last year alone. Liu Qingfeng, chairman of iFlytek, spoke at the expo, emphasizing that AI's impact goes beyond industrial applications and is beginning to influence every part of daily life and industry. AI's next wave in China, promises transformations across sectors and even research fields, driving a more efficient and connected world. With the latest advancements and the government's strategic support, China's AI ecosystem is not only expanding in size, but also pushing the boundaries of what's possible in both personal and industrial tech applications. So, what do you guys think? Are we ready for robots like Atlas working side by side with us? Let me know in the comments. So XPeng, known for its electric vehicles, just held its 2024 AI Day event, which has basically turned into a major tech showcase. This event gave us an inside look at some mind-blowing AI-driven innovations, from humanoid robots and a next-level AI chip, all the way to flying cars. So let's get into all the details. Alright, so XPeng introduced a new humanoid robot named Iron at its AI Day event in Guangzhou, China. Now, Iron is an operational machine already working on XPeng's production line. It stands at 5'8", or 178 centimeters, and weighs about 154 pounds, 70 kilograms, making it similar in size to an average person. And it's not just there for show. Iron is actively involved in assembling XPeng's upcoming electric vehicle, the P7 Plus, in their factories. The robot is powered by XPeng's custom-built Turing AI chip. And this chip is a serious piece of tech, equipped with a 40-core processor and designed specifically for AI vehicles, robots, and even flying cars. The Turing chip can handle large AI models with up to 30 billion parameters, allowing it to reason, think, and adapt to different tasks, making Iron more like a human in terms of flexibility and decision-making. With over 60 joints and 200 degrees of freedom, Iron has a pretty impressive range of movement, giving it the agility to perform complex tasks, from walking around the factory floor to picking up and handling various components. Its hands alone have 15 degrees of freedom, meaning they can move in very precise ways to grasp, hold, and place objects with a human-like finesse. Now think about it. XPeng's vision goes far beyond assembling cars. They're setting their sights on deploying robots like Iron not only in factories, but also in retail spaces, offices, and even homes. Iron isn't just a manufacturing assistant, it's envisioned as a robot that could integrate into everyday spaces, providing real, hands-on assistance. Like an idea of entering a store or office where Iron is there to help with tasks or manage customer service. This is an ambitious goal, and XPeng is clearly focused on extending Iron's role beyond industrial applications. And if you're wondering if Iron reminds you of something, you're spot on. There are some obvious similarities to Tesla's Optimus Robot. Tesla's been working on using their own autonomous driving technology to create humanoid robots, and now XPeng is doing the same, using the tech from its EVs to build Iron. The design of Iron also raised some eyebrows. Brett Adcock, the CEO of Figure AI, actually called XPeng out, claiming they'd copied the spine and hip design of his company's robot. This is a common accusation in the tech world, and it might sound familiar if you followed XPeng before. So what's going on with XPeng and Tesla here? Well, if we zoom out, this rivalry goes beyond just robots. It's all part of XPeng's strategy to leverage AI across multiple sectors, especially in electric vehicles and now robotics. Over the past few years, XPeng has built a reputation for adopting and, let's be honest, sometimes mimicking Western tech. We saw this happen in smartphones and EVs, where Chinese companies initially took heavy inspiration from Western designs, but then took over with large-scale manufacturing and innovation. If history's any guide, China could end up doing something similar in robotics. Now Iron isn't the only new tech XPeng showed off. They also introduced the Kunpeng Super Electric System, a next-generation powertrain. This system is built on high-voltage silicon carbide tech, which optimizes energy conversion and cuts down power loss, making XPeng's EVs more efficient and extending their driving range. And here's where it gets impressive. With the Kunpeng system, their EVs will have a combined range of up to 1,400 kilometers, or around 870 miles. That's a big leap in range and something that could make EVs a lot more practical for people who do long-distance travel. In addition to that, the Kunpeng system can fast charge from 10% to 80% in just 12 minutes, using what's called 5C charging technology. Imagine needing just 12 minutes to go from low battery to nearly full. That's something that could change the game in EVs if it catches on widely. XPeng's focus here is on making EVs not just efficient, but fast charging, which could really help ease the range anxiety many people feel about electric cars. XPeng's in-house Turing AI chip is another major development they highlighted. The Turing chip isn't just for robots, it's also the brain behind XPeng's newest vehicles. The chip is optimized for AI-heavy applications, supporting up to 30 billion parameters, and it powers some of their most advanced tech, like the Shanghai platform. This platform is essentially XPeng's new neural network for Level 4 autonomous driving. The goal is to create a robotaxi that doesn't even need a human driver, and with this chip, they're well on their way. To put it into perspective, the Turing chip in these robotaxis has a computing power of up to 3,000 TOPS, tera operations per second. What does that mean? Basically, it's like putting the processing power of 3 high-performance chips into one. This tech isn't just about driving, it's also about safety. XPeng's Hawkeye Pure Vision system gives the Robotaxis a 720-degree view with no blind spots. So you're looking at a pretty advanced level of autonomy here, with the car able to drive itself safely without human input in most situations. But XPeng went even further. They also showed off their flying car plans through a subsidiary called AeroHT. XPeng AeroHT is developing both eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing, and hybrid flying cars. They showcased a modular flying car that works with a parent vehicle for recharging, and even a tilt rotor flying vehicle that can carry 6 passengers, up to 500 kilometers, about 311 miles, with a top speed of 360 kilometers per hour, 224 miles per hour. Hybrid flying car, scheduled for release in 2026, will cost around 2 million yuan or about $279,000, a price tag that's surprisingly reasonable for something so futuristic. XPeng is already on track to integrate these flying cars into everyday transportation systems. They're planning a public flight demonstration later this month and will open pre-orders in December. So, while flying cars might still sound like sci-fi to some of us, XPeng is moving full steam ahead, treating them like a natural evolution in urban mobility. Beyond flying cars and autonomous robots, XPeng has its eye on global expansion too. They're already present in 30 countries with 145 after-sales service centers. By next year, they plan to be in 60 countries, which shows just how aggressively they're targeting global growth. With all these developments, XPeng is positioning itself as a tech giant far beyond just an electric vehicle manufacturer. They're entering industries like robotics, AI chip design, autonomous driving, and even aerial mobility. And what makes this so intriguing is that it's not just talk. They're actively integrating this tech into real products, as we can see with Iron already in use on the factory floor. And let's not overlook XPeng's production milestones. As of October 2024, they've delivered 122,478 vehicles, a 21% increase compared to last year, with nearly 24,000 units sold just last month. Clearly, their EV sales are on the rise, and these new AI-driven advancements in robot technology, power systems, and autonomous vehicles could push their growth even further. So where does this leave us? XPeng's aggressive strategy reflects China's broader focus on AI and robotics, backed by massive government investments and an established manufacturing infrastructure. With all the advancements we've seen, from humanoid robots and AI chips to range-extending EVs and flying cars, XPeng is signaling that they're not content to just be players in the EV market. They're aiming to be leaders in AI-driven technology and robotics on a global scale. XPeng's advancements at this year's AI Day underscore that they're not just chasing trends, they're setting the stage for what could be a major transformation in tech. Whether it's through the humanoid robot Iron, their high-powered Turing AI chip, or their ambitious flying car project, XPeng is showing they're committed to pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that wraps up our look at XPeng's latest tech moves and their impact on the future. Stay tuned for more updates as this innovation unfolds. So Microsoft has just dropped something pretty exciting. It's called Magnetic One, a powerful multi-agent AI system that's changing the game. Now, I know that might sound like a mouthful, but hang in there. This system is like a team of AIs, each with its own specialty, coming together to tackle complex tasks, step by step, across all kinds of fields. All right, so Magnetic One doesn't work like the typical AI we're used to. This system actually goes beyond just giving you answers. It's designed to take action. Booking a movie ticket, writing code, or navigating files on a device handled seamlessly. Magnetic One can also operate web browsers, edit documents, and even execute Python code. The mastermind behind this whole operation is a lead agent called the Orchestrator. Think of it like the manager of a team, directing 4 other agents, each of which specializes in different tasks. Let's dive into these agents to see what each one brings to the table. So the first agent is called Web Surfer. This one's job is pretty much what it sounds like. It handles all web-based tasks. It can open web pages, click around, type, and even summarize content on a page. It actually handles everything from web searches to form filling without a hitch. Next up, we have File Surfer. This guy is the file and folder expert. It can navigate through files on your device, list out directories, and basically act as your personal file manager. So if you're trying to find a document buried somewhere on your computer, File Surfer can help you locate it in seconds. Then there's Coder. This one's probably my favorite. It's built to write and execute code, handle data analysis, create Python scripts, and develop small programs effortlessly. This one truly brings high-level development skills right to your fingertips.
The person who developed this is slightly smarter than me. Slightly.
Lastly, we've got Computer Terminal. Now, this agent works with Coder by providing a virtual console or shell where all those programs and scripts Coder writes can actually run. It's also where you could install additional programming libraries if you need them. So imagine giving an instruction like, book me a movie ticket for tonight. The orchestrator would step in, break down the task, and assign subtasks to each agent. Web Surfer might navigate to the movie website, File Surfer could save the confirmation, and Coder could handle any data processing. Each agent plays its part, and the orchestrator keeps them all in sync.
What are you doing?
I'm rebooting Rhodey's suit.
Microsoft didn't just design Magnetic One to do one thing really well. They made it to be flexible and adaptable. Unlike a single agent AI where one model does everything and might struggle with complex tasks, Magnetic One's modular design allows agents to be added or removed as needed without affecting the whole system. And this flexibility is huge because it means Magnetic One isn't just locked into doing a few specific things. It can grow and adapt based on whatever task you throw at it, which is why Microsoft is calling it a generalist system. Imagine the possibilities if you could continuously upgrade your AI without breaking the core functionality. All right, now here's a quick look at the technology behind it. Magnetic One is built using Microsoft's open source framework called AutoGen, and here's what that does. AutoGen lets you integrate Magnetic One with different large language models, or LLMs, so you're not stuck with just one.
The agent can be backed by a large language model. It can be backed by tools or code executor, and also can be backed by a human user.
Right now, it's optimized to work with models like GPT-4o and OpenAI's o1 preview, but it's model agnostic. That means you can swap in other models or even use multiple models for different agents depending on what you need, like having a model that's better at reasoning handle the orchestrator tasks. And to make sure the system is running at its best, Microsoft created something called AutoGen Bench. This tool is like a testing ground for agent-based AI, with benchmarks that evaluate how well each agent performs on complex multi-step tasks. AutoGen Bench tests agents on real-world tasks using benchmarks like Gaia, Assistant Bench, and Web Arena, which are designed to measure things like planning and tool use. Microsoft's initial tests showed that Magnetic One holds its own, even against the best AI systems out there. So what can you actually do with Magnetic One? Like we mentioned earlier, Magnetic One is designed for all kinds of tasks, from software engineering and data analysis to scientific research and web browsing. It's built to be incredibly versatile. For a researcher handling a large data analysis project, the orchestrator agent could assign data fetching tasks to Web Surfer, organize local files with File Surfer, and execute complex calculations through Coder, all without manual intervention. Or for a content creator managing web navigation, content summarization, or research compilation, Magnetic One's modular setup streamlines these tasks into one seamless AI solution, eliminating the need for multiple tools. Now, what's interesting is how Magnetic One reflects this bigger shift in AI. We've gone from having AI just recommend things to having it take actions on our behalf. It's no longer just about suggesting a restaurant, it's about booking the table, placing your order, and arranging for delivery. Microsoft calls this an agentic system, where AI isn't just talking back at us, but actively doing things to make our lives easier. And as Microsoft says, we're only scratching the surface here, but of course, with great power comes some risks. Magnetic One is designed to be careful, but AI that can act in the world brings up new questions. During testing, Microsoft found that the agents sometimes tried actions they weren't supposed to. For instance, an agent kept trying to log into a website, causing the account to be temporarily suspended. In another case, an agent even tried reaching out to other humans for help, drafting a Freedom of Information request to a government agency. These examples show why it's so important to keep these systems in check and ensure they're acting responsibly. Microsoft isn't taking this lightly either. They're working with their deployment safety board to prevent these kinds of incidents, using techniques like sandboxed Docker containers for tasks that involve running code. They've also released guidance on using Magnetic One safely, advising on human oversight when the system takes irreversible actions. For instance, if an agent is about to delete a file, it's designed to pause and ask for confirmation. In the future, they're thinking of even more ways to handle risks, like programming agents to understand which actions are reversible and which aren't. This is still an evolving field, but Microsoft is definitely setting a precedent here. Now, this system isn't alone in the multi-agent game. Other big tech companies are also jumping in. OpenAI has developed a framework called Swarm, and IBM has something called the B-Agent Framework. These systems aim to handle complex tasks using multiple agents, just like Magnetic One. But where Microsoft's Magnetic One stands out is in its modular plug-and-play design. You can add or remove agents without needing to rework the whole system, which isn't as common in some of these other setups. To bring it all together, here's a quick recap of what makes Magnetic One tick. At the heart of it, you've got the orchestrator managing everything, backed up by the specialized agents we talked about earlier. The system is powered by AutoGen, and AutoGen Bench is there to evaluate and optimize each agent's performance on different tasks. And remember, this AI system is completely open source, so if you're a developer or a researcher, you can jump on GitHub right now and start experimenting. Whether you're looking to build a new application or improve your productivity, Magnetic One could potentially be a game changer in the world of multi-agent AI. So it's an exciting new chapter in AI, and we're only just getting started. Microsoft's vision here is clear. They want AI that doesn't just think, but acts, making it a real partner in everyday tasks. What do you guys think? Is this the future of AI we've been waiting for? Right now, we're on the brink of something huge: robots with general intelligence. Think about it. Machines that can adapt, learn, and handle all kinds of tasks, bringing us closer to true AGI, or artificial general intelligence. And we're getting closer to that reality than ever. Meet Physical Intelligence, a startup out of San Francisco that's turning heads, even catching the interest of heavyweights like Jeff Bezos and OpenAI. With a massive $400 million in funding, they're now valued at $2 billion, and it's all because they're working on something revolutionary: generalist robots. Unlike typical single-task robots, these robots, powered by their new AI model called Pi-Zero, are designed to be adaptable. They want to create a future where robots that can fold laundry, carefully pack eggs, and even clear a messy table, all with the versatility and intelligence that's been out of reach until now. So, how did we get here? Up until now, most robots were like specialist machines, each designed to do a specific job. You've got robotic vacuums for cleaning, robotic arms for assembly lines, and industrial robots that can pick up objects and sort them, but only in very controlled settings. The problem is these robots aren't great at adapting to different environments or learning new tasks on the go. They do what they're programmed to do, and that's it. Physical intelligence is flipping this script. They're not building new robot hardware. Instead, they're developing what you could call a robot brain, one that could make almost any robot capable of doing a wide range of things, and that's the power behind P0. Now, what makes Pi-Zero so different? For starters, this AI doesn't just react to basic commands. It integrates vision, language, and motor commands into one system, which means it can see, understand, and physically act based on what it perceives. For example, Pi-Zero can read text prompts like clean up the table, look around, understand what's on the table, and figure out how to get the job done. It has been trained on 10,000 hours of data from different robot setups, so it doesn't just know how to move, it knows how to adjust and refine its movements based on what it senses, almost like a human. The Pi-Zero model can perform up to 50 motor commands per second. Imagine how precise and fluid that makes its movements. This ability to handle such tasks with finesse is crucial when dealing with delicate items. Physical Intelligence developed a unique method they call flow matching to make the model's movements look natural and smooth, similar to how people learn and adjust their movements. This level of control is the real game changer here. It's what allows Pi-Zero to fold clothes, pack groceries, even grind coffee beans, tasks that require a mix of strength, precision, and adaptability. Now, this breakthrough didn't come easy. It took the combined expertise of industry leaders like Carol Houseman, who has worked on robotics at Google, and Sergey Levine, a robotics researcher from Stanford University. Together, they had a goal to make robots versatile enough to learn new tasks quickly, without extensive reprogramming. They even brought in 10,000 hours of hands-on training data from different sources, including OXE, Droid, and Bridge datasets, to give Pi-Zero the kind of experience it needs to handle everything from laundry to packing eggs. And thanks to all that training data, Pi-Zero can work with several types of robots, single arm, dual arm, and even mobile robots that can move around while performing tasks. Physical Intelligence's vision is to make robots as adaptable as large language models like ChatGPT, but in the physical world. Imagine coming home from work to find your robot assistant has already vacuumed the floors, folded the laundry, and even prepared a meal. That's the future physical intelligence envisions. This isn't just an idea, it's something they're actively working toward, and they've demonstrated robots that can do these things in real time. The key to Pi Zero's adaptability lies in its pre-training. Just like how ChatGPT and other large language models get pre-trained on vast amounts of text before being fine-tuned, Pi Zero gets pre-trained on diverse robotic actions. But instead of text, it's trained on everything from folding laundry to delicate manipulations like stacking eggs without breaking them. After this broad pre-training, Pi Zero can handle a range of tasks right out of the box. No additional training required for simpler jobs. And for more complex multi-step tasks, it can be fine-tuned, just like fine-tuning a language model. But here's where things get really interesting. To teach Pi Zero all these skills, physical intelligence didn't just gather robotic data from around the web. Since there isn't a massive database of robot actions like there is for text, they had to create their own data. They used a combination of vision language models that helped the AI understand both images and text, and then applied techniques from AI image generation like diffusion modeling to enable more generalized learning. This approach has allowed Pi Zero to learn faster from limited data, and it's making strides toward a future where robots could perform any chore we need. And Pi Zero's potential isn't limited to just homes. The technology could transform industrial settings too. So basically, robots in warehouses not only picking and packing items, but also adapting to different product shapes and sizes, or even helping with assembly line tasks that demand both precision and dexterity. There's also a big opportunity in caregiving. Robots that could help seniors with daily tasks or assist people with disabilities by handling physical chores that require careful, adaptable movements. While all this sounds amazing, it also raises some big questions. One issue is job displacement. If robots become more versatile and start performing tasks that humans usually do, what does that mean for workers, especially in jobs that don't require high-level skills? There's also the matter of privacy and data security, since training robots involves collecting huge amounts of data, which might include personal spaces or even sensitive information. Plus, even though the technology is advanced, making it accessible and affordable to everyday consumers will be a challenge. Right now, Pi Zero is at the cutting edge of robotics, but the cost of developing and deploying such advanced AI will need to come down before it can be widely adopted. Obviously, other tech giants and startups are also eyeing the potential of general-purpose robots. Elon Musk, for instance, is working on Tesla's Optimus Robot, which he claims will be available by 2040 for around $20,000 to $25,000. This humanoid robot is being developed to perform most tasks humans can do. And if Tesla delivers, we're looking at a world where affordable, general-purpose robots are everywhere. Amazon, Google, and even Nvidia are also pouring billions into AI and robotics, so we're bound to see rapid advancements over the next couple of decades. So, what can Pi Zero do right now? Physical Intelligence has released videos showing it in action, and it's genuinely impressive. The robots can pick up and fold clothes, shake out wrinkles in t-shirts, pack groceries, and even handle eggs with a surprising amount of care. These aren't just pre-programmed routines. Pi Zero is actually interpreting the task, making adjustments, and executing it in real time. And yeah, there are still a few kinks. Sometimes Pi Zero's robots mess up, like overfilling an egg carton and trying to force it shut, or suddenly tossing a box off a table. But these are quirks that come with the territory as the AI learns and evolves. Another example of Pi Zero's flexibility is building a cardboard box. You wouldn't think folding and securing a box would be so hard, but it's one of the most challenging tasks for a robot to do well. It requires bending, holding parts in place, and applying pressure just right to get the box folded without damaging it. It's exactly this type of complex, multi-stage task that Pi Zero was designed to tackle, showing that this AI can handle a wide variety of actions in sequence. Looking at the bigger picture, Pi Zero is still evolving, and while it's not at the level of something like ChatGPT, its learning process has similarities. It's like the first step toward robots with a foundation model for physical actions, a robot brain that gets smarter and more capable over time. And the fact that Physical Intelligence has built Pi Zero using such a general approach, without limiting it to just one type of robot, means they're onto something that could potentially transform robotics across many fields. So, if you're as excited as I am about the future of robots in our daily lives, keep an eye on Physical Intelligence and their Pi Zero model. They're paving the way for a new era in robotics, one where machines don't just perform single jobs but adapt and grow to become real helpers in our world. OpenAI just rolled out a feature called Predicted Outputs for their GPT-4o and GPT-4o mini models, and it's already making a big difference in how fast we can get things done with AI. Let me break down what this feature does and why it's such a game changer, especially if you're into AI-powered coding, content creation, or even just looking to speed up workflows. So you're working with AI to edit code or update documents, right? Normally, even the latest models have to generate each token, the words or bits of code, one by one, which takes time. But here's where predicted output steps in. With this new feature, you can tell the model what you expect part of the response to be in advance. That way, it doesn't have to start from scratch every time. It can jump straight to what you've predicted, generating fewer tokens, which means you get your answer faster. Now, how much faster? Well, according to OpenAI, early tests show that code editing with these predictions is coming in 2 to 4 times faster than before. If you're dealing with large files like a big code file or a lengthy document, something that used to take about 70 seconds can now be done in roughly 20 seconds. So essentially, we're talking about cutting the time by more than half in some cases. Now, the idea is pretty straightforward. Instead of just asking the AI to do something and waiting for it to come up with everything on its own, you can give it a hint, basically a prediction of what part of the output should be. Let's say you're tweaking some code, and most of the code is going to stay the same except for 1 or 2 lines. You can input the existing code as your prediction for the model to base its response on. The model then only needs to fill in the gaps, instead of rewriting everything from scratch. So where would you use this? Well, predicted outputs shine in situations where the tasks are repetitive or predictable. For example, you're updating a blog post, modifying small parts of a script, or making tiny changes in a huge data set. Instead of waiting for the AI to rehash all the parts that are unchanged, you let it know what's already there and it only focuses on the updates. You're essentially giving it a shortcut, so it spends less time figuring out the whole response and more time delivering exactly what you need. But here's a key point. Predicted outputs aren't ideal for generating brand new, unique content. If the model has no frame of reference, like when you're creating something from scratch with no predictable elements, predicted outputs won't help you there. This feature works best when there's a baseline, something repetitive or partially known that the AI can rely on. Now, OpenAI didn't just leave it there. They've tested this feature across multiple programming languages like Python, JavaScript, Go, and C++, and found that it's effective in each one. So if you're a developer working in one of these languages, this could really be a time saver. But if you're wondering whether you can use this with every model, here's the deal. Predicted outputs are only available with the GPT-4o and GPT-4o mini. And there are a few restrictions you should know about. For starters, this feature doesn't support some advanced API parameters that you might use in other situations. So if you're used to calling for multiple outputs at once, using function calls, or getting probabilities with log probs, this feature won't play nice with those settings. OpenAI even says that if you want to maximize efficiency, try using predicted outputs for controlled tasks, where the response is somewhat predictable. Let's go a little deeper with an example. Say you're working on refactoring some code in TypeScript. Let's imagine you have a class called user with a property labeled username, but you need to change that property to email. The code structure remains almost entirely the same, so you can feed the existing code to GPT-4o as the predicted output. Then, when you prompt it to make that change, it will only update what's necessary, just that single line, instead of rewriting the whole thing from scratch. This brings up a few neat technical details too. When the model processes your prediction, it actually keeps track of how many tokens it accepted and how many it had to reject. Tokens that match your prediction get processed quickly, while rejected tokens, ones the model doesn't end up using, are discarded but still charged at the regular completion rate. So there's a bit of strategy involved here. If your prediction is accurate, you save time and potentially cut down on tokens. If it's way off, you'll still pay for the extra effort. And to go even faster, OpenAI's also rolled out a way to use this feature with streaming, which can boost performance even more. Let's say you're doing that same code refactoring example. With streaming, instead of waiting for the entire response to load at once, the API sends it to you in chunks. So as each part of the response is generated, it's streamed in real time. You can display it immediately or process it on the fly, which really minimizes any delay. Another useful thing about this feature is that it doesn't matter where your predicted text appears within the response. You could have a chunk of code at the beginning, some new additions in the middle, or at the end, it all gets factored in. The AI can latch onto those predictions no matter where they're positioned, speeding up the process even further. Here's an example to illustrate. Let's say you're working with a simple server setup in JavaScript using a library called Hano, and you want to add a new route. You could give the model a version of the code with most of the server structure in place. Then, when you ask it to add a new route that responds with "Hello World," it doesn't need to think about the rest of the file. It can just drop in that one new line while saving time by using the structure from your prediction. So what are the limitations? Besides the restrictions on the models, certain settings just aren't compatible with predicted outputs right now. For example, you can't set max_completion_ tokens when using predictions. And if you're planning on generating audio, mixing modalities, or calling functions within the API, you'll have to look elsewhere. Predicted outputs don't support those features. One more thing to keep in mind is that even if the prediction isn't spot on, it'll still have to process all the tokens you've provided. So if your prediction text includes 100 tokens, but the model ends up rejecting 20, you'll still be billed for the full 100. Essentially, it'll save you time, but not necessarily money, unless you're strategic with how you use it. For developers, OpenAI's documentation provides more details on how to implement this feature. But here's a basic idea of how it works with OpenAI's SDKs. Let's say you're using JavaScript and want to refactor a TypeScript class. You'd input your code snippet as a prediction parameter. Then, using a chat completion prompt, you'd specify what changes you want, like replacing the username property with email. The AI takes it from there, updating just that line thanks to the prediction you provided. In terms of practical application, predicted outputs will likely appeal to anyone dealing with repetitive tasks. Think bloggers updating old posts, developers tweaking chunks of code, or data scientists working on small adjustments within datasets. Imagine you've got a list of entries in a blog post that need minor updates. Rather than regenerating everything, you simply pre-fill what's staying the same, and the AI only needs to add the new bits. The more predictable the task, the better this feature performs. OpenAI also advises starting small, testing it with controlled, repeatable tasks. This lets you figure out just how much time you can save while getting used to the feature. And since predicted outputs require a bit of trial and error, starting with simpler predictions might help you avoid extra charges from too many rejected tokens.
OpenAI and Google are locked in what Rowan Chung has called the ultimate nerd battle for AI dominance, constantly trading blows to claim the top spot for their chatbots on performance charts. This fierce competition has sparked some of the most rapid advancements in AI we've ever seen. Amid this high-stakes showdown, OpenAI is taking an extraordinary step by exploring the development of its own web browser. This isn't just about entering the browser market or competing with Google Chrome. It's about redefining how we interact with the internet. OpenAI's vision goes beyond the ordinary, aiming to integrate ChatGPT directly into the browsing experience, making online navigation smarter, more intuitive, and tailored entirely to the user. So, reports suggest that OpenAI has discussed prototypes of this browser with companies like Condé Nast, Redfin, Eventbrite, and Priceline. While it's still far from being a finished product, these discussions signal that OpenAI is serious about moving in this direction. Unlike existing browsers, which often rely heavily on ad revenue and serve search results cluttered with links, this AI-driven browser could focus entirely on the user experience. It's a bold move, especially when you consider the dominance of Google Chrome, which holds an estimated 63% of the global browser market. But cracks in Google's stronghold are starting to show. The US Department of Justice has raised concerns about Google's monopolistic practices and even suggested that the company might need to sell Chrome to reduce its control over online search. This creates a rare opening for competitors like OpenAI to step in with innovative solutions. OpenAI's approach isn't just about providing an alternative to Chrome, it's about fundamentally rethinking what a browser can do when AI is at its core. This exploration of a browser ties closely to OpenAI's advancements in search technology. Their Search GPT product is already challenging traditional search engines by offering direct, source-cited answers, instead of relying on the familiar page-after-page results format. By cutting out the middleman, Search GPT eliminates the need for users to sift through irrelevant information, This shift prioritizes efficiency and accuracy, contrasting sharply with Google's ad-heavy model that relies on users engaging with sponsored content. However, Google isn't taking this challenge lightly. Their own AI chatbot, Gemini, has been a key part of their strategy to counter OpenAI's growing influence. Since its launch in 2022, Gemini has been evolving rapidly. Its most recent update, Gemini X1121, reclaimed the top spot on the LMM Arena leaderboard, a platform where large language models are evaluated anonymously. OpenAI's GPT-4o update had previously taken the lead, but Gemini's latest improvements quickly closed the gap. This constant back and forth between OpenAI and Google underscores the intensity of their competition, with both companies racing to outdo one another in terms of innovation and user experience. OpenAI's November update to GPT-4o has been a game changer in many ways. It focuses heavily on creative writing, making the AI's responses more natural, engaging, and tailored to individual contexts. Users have praised the update for its ability to produce content that feels human-like, whether it's for storytelling, professional writing, or even academic purposes. The update also significantly boosted the model's speed, increasing its token output rate from 80 per second to 180. This improvement makes the AI not only more powerful, but also more efficient, particularly for users who rely on it for time-sensitive tasks. However, these advancements came with a trade-off. GPT-4o's math benchmark score dropped from 78% to 69%, indicating that the focus on creativity may have slightly reduced its technical precision. Despite this, the update has been widely embraced, especially by those who prioritize the AI's enhanced ability to generate fluid, coherent, and context-aware content. Beyond speed and creativity, the updated model also excels at analyzing uploaded files, offering users deeper insights and more detailed interpretations. These capabilities make it an invaluable tool for professionals in fields like research, education, and project management. The growing popularity of ChatGPT speaks for itself. The platform now boasts 250 million weekly active users, with 5% to 6% of free users upgrading to the paid version. This substantial user base highlights the tool's relevance and value in an increasingly AI-driven world. OpenAI's focus on improving user experience is clearly paying off, cementing its position as a leader in the AI space. OpenAI isn't just advancing its technology, it's also expanding its reach through strategic partnerships. One notable collaboration is with Apple, where OpenAI's technology powers several Apple Intelligence features. This partnership seamlessly integrates advanced AI capabilities into Apple's ecosystem, enhancing the functionality of their devices. Meanwhile, reports suggest that OpenAI is also in talks with Samsung to bring similar features to their devices. If successful, this partnership could significantly disrupt the balance of power in the Android ecosystem, where Google has long held a dominant position. OpenAI's approach to content partnerships is another area where they're making waves. Earlier this year, the company teamed up with Hearst to integrate credible, well-sourced content into ChatGPT. This collaboration ensures that users receive accurate information, complete with citations, and direct links to original articles. Such partnerships address common criticisms of AI-generated content, enhancing transparency and trustworthiness. While OpenAI continues to innovate, Google is leveraging its vast resources to maintain its competitive edge. Gemini's recent updates have made it more capable of handling complex queries and creative tasks, putting it on par with OpenAI's offerings in many areas. The rivalry between the two companies is driving rapid innovation, benefiting users who now have access to more advanced and versatile tools than ever before. These developments signal a broader shift in how we interact with technology. OpenAI's focus on delivering ad-free, user-centric search and browsing experiences challenges the traditional models that have defined the internet for decades. If successful, this approach could fundamentally alter how businesses and consumers engage with online content, moving away from an ad-driven revenue model to one that prioritizes usability and relevance. The implications of these advancements extend far beyond just the tech-savvy crowd. Tools like ChatGPT and SearchGPT are becoming integral to how we work, learn, and connect. OpenAI's innovations are setting a new standard for what users can expect from AI, making interaction smoother, more intuitive, and more effective. These changes aren't just about making technology smarter, they're about making it more accessible and impactful. For users, this is an exciting time. The tools being developed today are more than just conveniences. They're shaping the future of how we navigate and interact with the digital world. OpenAI's efforts to redefine search, improve AI capabilities, and explore new applications are paving the way for a more intuitive and efficient online experience. Meanwhile, Google's continued investment in Gemini ensures that the competition remains fierce, driving both companies to push the boundaries of what's possible. This isn't just about rivalry, it's about transformation. The advancements we're seeing today represent the beginning of a new era in technology, one where AI plays a central role in shaping our interactions with the digital world. OpenAI's bold vision and relentless innovation suggest that they're not just competing, they're leading. The road ahead is filled with challenges, but if the past few months are any indication, OpenAI is more than ready to face them. Alright, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe for more AI updates.
There's a new AI out there that doesn't just follow commands. It thinks, adapts, and actually learns on its own. This is Airis, the first of its kind. A self-learning, thinking AI inside Minecraft, breaking every rule we thought we knew about artificial intelligence. Forget the usual game AIs with set commands. Airis navigates, solves problems, and creates its own rules as it goes. And what's more, this isn't just about gaming. This tech could change everything, from smart homes to autonomous robots. Let's talk about how this AI might be setting the stage for the future of AI. So Airis, or Autonomous Intelligent Reinforcement Inferred Symbolism, was launched within Minecraft, and trust me, it's a big deal. It's the first of its kind, a self-learning AI that works autonomously, meaning it doesn't need any preset rules or training data to function. Instead, Airis learns by doing, by interacting with its environment in Minecraft's open-ended world, and that's where it gets interesting. Now, why Minecraft? Well, Minecraft isn't just a game, it's a virtual sandbox with endless possibilities. The game's 3D environment has forests, caves, mountains, water bodies, you name it. It's complex, unpredictable, and a perfect testing ground for an AI like Airis that needs to adapt and make decisions on the fly. Minecraft provides a real-time setting where Airis faces challenges that constantly change, forcing it to adapt and create new strategies for navigating through obstacles, avoiding cliffs, and even figuring out efficient paths. The tech behind this AI is equally fascinating. It's powered by SingularityNet, an AI network, and involves agent technology from Fetch.ai, long-term memory from Ocean Data, and scalable processing power from Kudos Compute. These are some of the biggest players in AI and blockchain tech coming together to push the boundaries of what AI can do. Dr. Ben Goertzel, the mind behind SingularityNet, explained that this AI isn't just about solving simple tasks. Airis symbolizes a step toward an AGI that can think, adapt, and even understand on a level that we haven't seen in any AI so far. Now let's get a little more technical because the sheer depth of this AI's capabilities is mind-blowing. At its core, this AI uses what's called neural symbolic learning. Instead of needing tons of data like other AIs, this one can form generalizable conclusions from small bits of data by observing and refining its rules as it learns. This type of learning is a huge leap because most AI today relies on vast amounts of data to perform well. Airis, on the other hand, learns through trial and error, just like a human would, which makes it far more flexible in unpredictable environments. Here's how it works. When Airis first enters Minecraft, it starts off a bit rough, stumbling around, trying to figure out the lay of the land. But as it encounters obstacles like cliffs, forests, rivers, or even mobs, it begins creating its own rule set. Let's say it faces a steep hill. It might try climbing over it and fail, so it recalculates and chooses a different path next time. This process of real-time adjustment is where Airis shines. Unlike conventional AI, which would need to go through a massive retraining phase for a new environment, Airis can adapt immediately. This means it's not just learning a path, but understanding its surroundings in a dynamic way. The goal with Airis isn't just to build an AI that can beat Minecraft, but to develop skills that can be transferred to real-world applications like autonomous robots, smart home assistants, and even industrial machines. Imagine a robot in a warehouse learning how to navigate around pallets and shelves, just like Airis does with trees and hills in Minecraft. Or a home assistant that can understand and adapt to your household's unique layout without needing constant adjustments. But this isn't happening overnight. ASI Alliance and SingularityNet see Airis in Minecraft as a controlled testing ground for AGI development. By testing in this digital sandbox, they can refine how Airis handles real-world problems, so it becomes more efficient, faster, and smarter over time. There's another really cool aspect to Airis's development, and that's the idea of transparency. Barrett Cook, the AI developer from SingularityNet who created Airis, says that unlike typical black box AI, where we have little idea how decisions are made, Airis is designed to be understandable. This is a huge deal in the AI world because transparency leads to safer, more ethical AI. We can see how it makes decisions, learn from its mistakes, and even refine it to ensure it's beneficial to humanity. This isn't just a game-changing AI experiment, though. The broader plan for Airis is to take it beyond Minecraft. ASI Alliance envisions a future where Airis could become a fully autonomous entity in multi-agent scenarios, meaning it could collaborate with other AIs on tasks, kind of like how humans work together. Imagine multiple Airis-like AIs coordinating in an environment, sharing information, and working as a team to solve bigger challenges. Looking ahead, there's talk of Airis developing strategic skills like managing resources and abstract reasoning to handle more complex tasks. Think of an AI in the future that could not only learn from its environment, but also plan ahead, anticipate needs, and make critical decisions. This could transform sectors like home automation, robotics, and even healthcare. Now, Airis is only one piece of the puzzle. SingularityNet is also working on a network of supercomputers set to roll out as soon as early 2025, designed specifically for AGI development. This isn't your average server rack. These supercomputers will be packed with NVIDIA GPUs, AMD processors, and Tenstorrent's black hole and wormhole technologies, all aimed at processing the immense calculations AGI demands. The first phase of this supercomputer network will wrap up around late 2024 or early 2025. Ben Goertzel, CEO of SingularityNet, is pretty excited about what this tech can accomplish. He believes that building a distributed open-source AGI ecosystem could democratize access to AI and avoid the centralization of AI power. You won't need to be Google or OpenAI to access this AGI tech. SingularityNet even uses its AGIX token to allow people to contribute to and benefit from this network. Users can interact with the network on blockchains like Ethereum or Cardano, where they can purchase access and contribute data, which fuels AGI development. In this larger ecosystem, SingularityNet also collaborates with Tenstorrent, an AI computing company. Their partnership involves a three-phase plan to integrate advanced chip technology and create new hardware and software architectures. The goal here is to move beyond the limitations of typical neural networks by using neural symbolic AI that can combine data processing with reasoning. The AI we're talking about won't just crunch numbers. It will make decisions that mimic human cognition. The ASI Alliance, which includes SingularityNet, Fetch.ai, and Ocean Protocol, is on a mission to keep AI development transparent, ethical, and decentralized. They want to counter the monopolies of big tech and create a decentralized AI landscape, and the partnership between SingularityNet and Tenstorrent fits right into this vision. They're developing an open-source framework, OpenCog Hyperon, to manage the complex computations of AGI, so that this powerful tech doesn't stay locked away in corporate labs. If you've been following AI for a while, you've probably heard predictions about when we'll reach true AGI. Some experts, like DeepMind's Shane Legg, believe it could happen by 2028. But with projects like Airis and SingularityNet's supercomputer network, we might be closer than we think. Airis's journey in Minecraft might seem like just an experiment, but it's much more. This AI isn't just learning to navigate a virtual world, it's laying the groundwork for autonomous, self-directed AI that could operate in real-world environments. Every step it takes in Minecraft brings us closer to a future where AI can function independently, solve problems, and maybe even think strategically like us. So to wrap it up, we're witnessing a shift towards AIs that don't just follow rules, they make their own rules. SingularityNet and ASI Alliance are pushing the boundaries, setting up infrastructures and collaborations to make AGI a reality, from advanced gaming agents in Minecraft to supercomputers designed to host human-like cognition. The future of AI isn't just about making machines that respond to commands. It's about building systems that can learn, think, and adapt on their own, potentially marking the start of a new era in artificial intelligence. And all of this is happening right now, right in front of us in the most unexpected place, a Minecraft world. OpenAI is getting ready to launch a new AI tool that could change how we think about artificial intelligence. It's called Operator, and unlike the current generation of chatbots, Operator isn't just here to respond to questions or generate answers. It's an AI agent designed to complete real tasks on computers with almost no human input. We're talking about booking travel, coding, organizing complex workflows, all by itself. And while it's not yet available to the public, OpenAI plans to release Operator as a research preview in January, with developers getting early access through an API. Operator is part of a bigger shift happening in the AI industry, where tech companies are looking to create AI that can take on multi-step tasks and operate independently. OpenAI has some serious competition here. Anthropic recently introduced an AI with similar capabilities that can handle tasks like building websites and editing spreadsheets. Microsoft, too, has rolled out its own set of agent tools that can handle emails and manage records. And it's also supporting an open-source AI project called Magentic One, aimed at making these kinds of tools accessible for everyone to build on. Google, not wanting to be left behind, has its own AI agent coming soon as well. It's clear that all the big players see agent-based AI as the future, with each company racing to be at the forefront. This shift toward agent-based AI is a strategic move for companies like OpenAI. Building more advanced AI models alone isn't yielding the returns it used to. The costs are high, and incremental improvements just aren't bringing enough value to justify them. So OpenAI and others are betting on these autonomous AI agents like Operator to provide that next big leap. They're hoping that agents with practical, real-world applications can justify the massive investments being poured into AI development. OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, hinted at this shift recently in a Reddit AMA, saying that while models will keep improving, the real breakthrough will come from agents. OpenAI's chief product officer, Kevin Weil, doubled down on this idea at the company's Dev Day, saying he expects 2025 to be the year agent-based systems go mainstream. So what's the deal with Operator? It's designed to work directly within a web browser, meaning it can jump from one tab to another, carry out multi-step instructions, and complete a series of actions just as a human assistant might. Say you're booking a flight. You could tell Operator what kind of flight you're looking for, and it would handle the rest, finding options, filtering according to your preferences, selecting the best option, and even paying if you've authorized it. The idea is that this tool could eventually become a real digital assistant, executing tasks automatically without needing constant prompts. The way Operator works is intriguing, as it uses something called probabilistic decision-making. Unlike basic automation, which follows strict rules, Operator can adapt and respond to real-time outcomes. If it encounters a hiccup or something unexpected, it can adjust and keep going rather than getting stuck. Andy Thurai from Constellation Research explains that this kind of adaptability is what sets agentic AI apart. It's not just following instructions step by step, but is capable of making small decisions and adjustments along the way, much like a human assistant might. Now, as I said, Anthropic has already introduced AI tools that can take on complex tasks autonomously. For example, their agents can handle detailed computer tasks, create websites, and even work with data management. Microsoft's Magnetic One, an open-source AI platform, is focused on making agent-based AI accessible, letting developers customize it for different workflows and applications. This shift across the industry is a clear sign that agentic AI, not traditional chatbots, is the next big thing. Google is also in the race, expected to launch its AI agent soon, aiming for similar functionality. This all leads to some pretty big implications. Imagine a customer service department where an AI handles everything, responding to questions, processing requests, even helping customers complete transactions. Salesforce has already released AI agents for these kinds of tasks, and companies like ServiceNow and Cisco are introducing agents that handle routine service work. These agents don't just increase productivity, they could transform how work is done across entire industries, shifting the focus from manual, repetitive tasks to more strategic, high-value activities. Of course, with this shift comes some ethical and practical challenges. An autonomous AI agent like Operator raises questions about privacy, accountability, and potential biases. What happens if Operator makes a wrong call? If it misinterprets instructions or acts on faulty data, there's a risk of unintended consequences. Experts are increasingly calling for transparency in AI operations, especially when it comes to autonomous decision-making. There's a growing push for regulatory guidelines that ensure AI agents act responsibly and in users' best interests, balancing innovation with oversight. Another major consideration is the impact on the job market. These AI agents are designed to handle tasks traditionally done by people, and if they're widely adopted, job displacement becomes a real concern. To address this, There's been a push for workforce retraining programs to help people move into new roles as AI takes over certain tasks. OpenAI itself has suggested initiatives like AI-focused economic zones in the US, which would use high-tech investment to boost local economies and create jobs that complement AI rather than being replaced by it. And then there's the issue of accessibility. There's a risk that these powerful AI tools might only be available to big corporations with the resources to integrate them, potentially deepening the divide between large companies and smaller businesses or individual users. Policymakers are discussing how to ensure that advanced AI like Operator benefits a broad range of people, not just those at the top of the economic ladder. Energy consumption is another challenge facing AI developers. OpenAI recently pointed out that running these large AI models requires substantial energy. In a policy draft, they've suggested that the US invest in renewable energy sources to meet the rising power demands of AI. As these autonomous agents become more prevalent, the infrastructure needed to support them will also need to grow. OpenAI sees renewable energy as a key solution to keep AI systems sustainable and reduce their environmental impact. Public reaction to Operator has been a mix of excitement and caution. There's clear interest in the potential of AI to handle complex tasks, making everyday life easier. But there's also concern around privacy and ethics. As AI agents take on more responsibilities, the public wants to know that these systems are trustworthy, transparent, and accountable. These concerns reflect the bigger questions society faces about how to integrate AI responsibly. With Operator's January release as a research preview, developers will get first access through an API, allowing OpenAI to gather feedback and refine the tool. This staged rollout will help them test how Operator integrates into different applications and ensure that it meets user needs effectively. For industries ranging from customer service to software development and healthcare, this is just the beginning of what could be a major shift in how businesses operate. Operator is, in many ways, a signal of where AI technology is headed. As we move from simple chatbots to agents that perform real tasks independently, the potential for AI to reshape everyday work becomes clear. Instead of just responding to commands, Operator and similar tools can actively complete processes, manage workflows, and help optimize tasks that take up time and resources. The larger trend toward agentic AI reflects a shift in how AI labs and companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Microsoft are thinking about the future. It's not just about creating smarter models anymore, it's about designing tools that are useful, practical, and applicable in real-world situations. By focusing on AI agents that can act on information, the industry is opening up new possibilities for what AI can achieve, but this future is complex. As AI becomes more capable, society will have to adapt, finding a balance between innovation and the ethical concerns that come with autonomous systems. The full impact of agentic AI on work, privacy, and economics remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. As OpenAI's Operator gets closer to launch, the world of AI is evolving fast, and it's setting the stage for an AI-driven future that's far more integrated into daily life. So Black Forest Labs just dropped a major update with Flux 1.1 Pro, bringing AI image generation to a new level with ultra-realistic visuals and high-speed 4K resolution. We'll also dig into Google's new AI hub in Saudi Arabia, Microsoft's AI-powered Xbox chatbot, a startup using AI to sniff out fake sneakers, and how Cartier is blending AI with luxury exhibitions. There's a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Let's kick off with Black Forest Labs and their updated Flux 1.1 Pro image generator. If you're familiar with Stable Diffusion, the popular open-source AI for image generation, you'll recognize some of the team here. The folks at Black Forest Labs were actually part of the original crew that developed Stable Diffusion. After leaving, they went on to launch Flux, a model that's pushing AI-generated imagery even further. So with Flux 1.1 Pro, there are two major new features: Ultra Mode and Raw Mode. Ultra Mode is one of the most talked about features of Flux 1.1 Pro. It's all about delivering high-resolution images up to 4K resolution without sacrificing speed or image quality. In the world of AI-generated art, high resolution often comes at a steep cost. Models tend to slow down dramatically, sometimes taking minutes to process a single image. Flux's Ultra Mode changes that. According to Black Forest Labs, it processes images more than 2.5 times faster than other high-resolution AI models, producing a 4K image in roughly 10 seconds. This speed doesn't come at the cost of detail either. Many high-res models on the market struggle with what's called prompt adherence, meaning they don't always stay true to the input text, especially when processing larger images. Flux's Ultra mode has been fine-tuned to maintain accuracy, which is a big deal for professionals who rely on prompt precision. This feature alone makes Ultra mode incredibly valuable for industries like digital marketing, content creation, and even gaming, where high-quality visuals need to be generated quickly and consistently. The pricing model for Ultra mode is competitive as well, costing about 6 cents per image. For freelancers, studios, and companies that need high-res images regularly, this cost is lower than many alternatives out there, especially given the quality and speed. Ultra mode is particularly appealing to those who work in areas like advertising or media production, where quality can't be compromised and deadlines are tight. Then there's Raw mode, which offers a completely different aesthetic. One of the biggest criticisms of AI art, especially with earlier models, is that it often looks a bit too polished, almost synthetic. Raw mode addresses that by aiming to capture the imperfections and candid qualities you'd expect from a real-life photo. Black Forest Labs describes this as creating a less synthetic, more natural aesthetic. With Raw mode, Flux generates images that look like they were captured in the moment, even if they're completely fabricated by the AI. This mode focuses on diversifying human subjects, adding more realistic textures, expressions, and variations. For instance, when generating portraits, Raw mode can simulate natural lighting, subtle facial imperfections, and nuanced expressions. The result is a level of depth and diversity that's rare in other AI models, making the images feel much closer to authentic, candid snapshots. Raw mode is particularly useful for fields that prioritize a natural look. Think photojournalism-style content, documentary projects, or lifestyle brands that rely on a genuine, unfiltered aesthetic. Black Forest Labs has showcased some examples, from portraits to nature shots, and even some offbeat ones like an octopus in a top hat in a bathtub. The mode's versatility lets creators experiment with everything from realistic street scenes to surrealist, narrative-driven images. In the AI scene, Flux 1.1 Pro has been climbing up the artificial analysis image arena leaderboard, where it's currently one of the top-rated models, even outperforming some bigger names like Ideogram V2 and Midjourney V6.1. For developers wanting to incorporate Flux into their own apps, Black Forest Labs has launched a beta BFL API. It's scalable and priced competitively, so it should be interesting to see what people build with it. Now, one topic that often comes up with generative AI is data ethics. Black Forest Labs has not publicly detailed the training data used to create Flux. Given the pattern in the industry, it's likely that their training set involved large-scale scraping of internet images, a practice that has fueled debate over copyright and consent. Stability AI, the team's previous employer, is currently facing a significant lawsuit from Getty Images due to unauthorized use of their content in training Stable Diffusion. If similar issues arise with Flux, Black Forest Labs could find itself in legal trouble as well. Alright, now Google's making a big move in the Middle East by opening an AI-focused data center in Saudi Arabia. This center is designed to help develop Arabic language AI models and create AI applications specifically tailored to Saudi Arabia. It's part of the country's Vision 2030 initiative, which is focused on reducing dependency on oil by diversifying into sectors like tech and AI. Saudi Arabia has a huge investment fund, around $500 billion for new technologies, and they're making AI a priority. They're even using it in their oil industry, where AI-driven systems have boosted oil production by 15% in certain fields. Saudi Arabia's goal here is to increase industrial efficiency and keep pace with global tech advancements. Now, Google's involvement has stirred up some questions about their environmental commitments. Back in 2020, Google said it would cut back on projects supporting fossil fuel companies and pledged to halve their carbon emissions by 2030. So their expansion into Saudi Arabia, a country still heavily invested in oil, has led some to ask how this lines up with those commitments. Google insists this move doesn't conflict with their climate goals, but it highlights the tight balance companies face between growing globally and meeting environmental expectations. Moving into gaming, Microsoft's rolled out a new AI-powered support chatbot for Xbox. Right now, Xbox insiders in the US can try it out on support.xbox.com. It's there to handle support questions about everything from console issues to in-game problems, helping players get faster answers. The chatbot itself appears as either a colorful Xbox orb or a character that animates while responding. It's actually part of a larger shift at Microsoft to bring more AI into Xbox's ecosystem. Future plans include adding AI to game content creation, game testing, and even creating generative AI-driven NPCs, non-player characters. Microsoft is working with in-world AI on this. so we could see more dynamic NPCs in upcoming games. CEO Satya Nadella has been pushing all of Microsoft's divisions to focus on AI, and Xbox is now getting a taste of it. The chatbot marks a careful but significant step forward for Xbox in adopting AI, especially in the way it improves user experience by delivering faster AI-driven support. This next one is pretty unique. A startup named Osmo has developed tech to authenticate sneakers by their smell. Yep, they're using AI to sniff out counterfeit sneakers by analyzing scent profiles. Founded by Alex Wilchko, a former Google researcher, Osmo uses AI-enabled sensors to pick up on subtle markers like factory chemicals and adhesives that are usually hard to detect otherwise. They've already started testing this tech, comparing 10 real sneakers to 10 fake ones for 2 Nike models with over 95% accuracy in distinguishing the authentic ones. It's impressive given the scale of the counterfeit sneaker market, estimated to be worth around $450 billion, about 5 times the value of the legitimate sneaker market. With this tech, Osmo can pick up specific scent markers, like an animal fur smell on certain Nike models, while fakes often smell like glue. The startup has been piloting this technology with a secondhand sneaker platform, and if it scales up, this scent-driven tech could be huge for the sneaker industry, adding a whole new layer of authentication. Finally, let's talk about Cartier. The luxury brand is merging AI with its heritage for an exhibition in Shanghai's Museum East. Titled Cartier: The Power of Magic, this exhibition includes over 300 pieces of Cartier jewelry and artifacts from around the world. Some of the notable pieces include Maria Felix's flexible snake necklace from 1968, the Duchess of Windsor's panther brooch from 1949, and a range of Cartier's famous mystery clocks. For the exhibit's design, Cartier partnered with Chinese artist Kai Guoqiang, who created a custom AI model called Kaim specifically for this project. The AI-driven design brings the exhibition to life in a way that goes beyond traditional displays, creating an immersive experience for visitors. It's not only a first for Cartier, but also for the museum itself, showing how luxury brands are using AI to appeal to tech-savvy audiences in new ways.
This past week in AI robotics has been incredible. Robot dogs are mastering parkour with generative AI. Humanoid bots like Digit are revolutionizing logistics, and surgical robots are performing tasks with human-like precision. We've got AI lifeguards saving lives 24/7, chemistry bots conducting hundreds of experiments autonomously, and even a robot-created portrait of Alan Turing selling for over $1 million. Plus, NVIDIA's Jetson Thor platform is set to supercharge the next generation of humanoid robots. It's a week of mind-blowing breakthroughs, so let's talk about it. First up, let's talk about robot dogs and generative AI. Teaching robots to adapt to new environments has always been a headache. You could use real-world data, but gathering that is super expensive and time-consuming. Digital simulations sound like a great alternative, but they don't always translate to real-world success. Enter LucidSim, a groundbreaking system developed by MIT researchers. LucidSim uses generative AI models combined with a physics simulator to create ultra-realistic virtual training environments. These environments mimic real-world conditions like lighting, weather, and even the textures of objects. Think about it. AI models describing settings as detailed as an ancient alley lined with tea houses or a sunlit lawn with dry patches. LucidSim takes these descriptions and maps them into 3D training grounds, teaching robots to navigate tricky obstacles. The results? Stunning. A 4-legged robot trained on LucidSim nailed tasks like climbing stairs and locating objects. In one test, it found a traffic cone with a 100% success rate, compared to just 70% for traditional simulations. And MIT plans to use this system for more ambitious goals like training humanoid robots. So eventually robots will be handling tasks in cafes or factories with the precision of a well-trained barista. Sounds crazy? Well, researchers are already working on it. Now let's move from the streets to the operating room. At Johns Hopkins University, researchers have trained the Da Vinci surgical system robot using imitation learning, a method where robots learn by observing human demonstrations. Hundreds of videos from real surgeries were used to teach the robot 3 critical tasks: stitching, lifting tissue, and using a needle. What sets this apart is that the robot doesn't rely on manual coding for every move, a process that can take years for complex procedures. Instead, it analyzes patterns from the videos to replicate techniques and even adapt in real time. For instance, if it drops a needle, it picks it back up and continues, a feature that wasn't explicitly programmed but learned through observation. The results are impressive. The robot matched human performance across tasks and showed consistent precision, reducing the risk of errors. This approach eliminates the need for time-consuming programming, making it scalable for more surgical procedures. The researchers aim to take this further by enabling robots to perform full surgeries autonomously in the future. This breakthrough not only improves accuracy, but also has the potential to address shortages of skilled surgeons globally, offering high-quality surgical care even in remote locations. Speaking of human-like robots, let me introduce you to Digit, the humanoid robot from Agility Robotics. This teal-colored bot stands 5'9" tall, weighs 72 kilograms, and looks, well, let's just say its legs are backward, but that's intentional. Digit is designed for logistics and manufacturing, tackling tasks like moving boxes in warehouses. One of Digit's standout features is its versatility. Unlike traditional robots that rely on wheels, Digit uses feet to navigate. This means it can climb stairs, walk across uneven surfaces, and move in spaces where wheeled robots would struggle. To make it even more adaptable, its arms can be swapped out for different tasks, whether it's moving boxes in a warehouse or handling delicate items. This flexibility has already attracted big names like GXO Logistics and the Schaeffler Group, who are deploying fleets of Digits to handle repetitive, physically demanding tasks. Here's something fascinating. Digit doesn't rely on verbal commands, especially in noisy factory environments. Instead, it takes instructions via an iPad, showing just how much thought has gone into its usability. And while its current charge-to-work ratio is 4 minutes of work for every minute of charging, the company is targeting a 10:1 ratio soon. That could be a game changer, allowing Digit to work longer shifts without frequent breaks. Thanks to large language models, LLMs, powering its AI, Digit can adapt to new tasks and environments more efficiently over time. Now let's switch gears to something life-saving: AI-powered robot lifeguards. In Luohe City, Henan Province, China, researchers from the Hefei Institute of Physical Sciences have developed an autonomous robot lifeguard designed to operate 24/7 without human intervention. This robot utilizes artificial intelligence, big data, and navigation technologies to monitor designated water areas continuously. Equipped with a life-saving buoy and a rescue arm, it can detect drowning incidents and respond swiftly, potentially within critical timeframes. Similarly, in Santa Barbara, California, the University of California's Benioff Ocean Science Laboratory has introduced Shark Eye AI drones that patrol coastal waters to detect and monitor shark activity. These drones capture real-time footage analyzed by machine learning models to identify shark presence, providing timely alerts to lifeguards and beachgoers, thereby enhancing safety measures. These developments highlight the growing role of AI in augmenting traditional lifeguard duties, offering rapid response capabilities and continuous monitoring to improve water safety. Alright, now let's talk about a groundbreaking moment in the art world. An AI robot named Ida recently made history by selling a painting for over $1 million at Sotheby's. The artwork, a portrait of Alan Turing, the father of modern computing, fetched an astonishing $1,084,800. Far exceeding its pre-sale estimate of $120,000 to $180,000. This November 2024 sale marked the first time a humanoid robot's creation was auctioned, signaling a major milestone in the growing fusion of AI technology and the global art market. Another significant event occurred in 2018 when Christie's auctioned Portrait of Edmond de Bellamy, an AI-generated artwork by the Paris-based collective Obvious. The piece sold for $432,500, vastly exceeding its initial estimate of $7,000 to $10,000. This sale brought widespread attention to AI's potential in art creation and its market value. These instances underscore a broader trend where AI-generated art is gaining recognition and commanding high prices in the art market. The success of such artworks raises questions about creativity, authorship, and the evolving role of technology in artistic expression. If you think robots are confined to logistics or art, think again. At the University of Liverpool, researchers have developed a pair of robots that autonomously perform and analyze chemical reactions. These robots are equipped with advanced AI-driven decision-making capabilities, making them more like lab assistants that never need a coffee break. They're designed to handle the nitty-gritty tasks of chemical synthesis, product analysis, and even planning the next steps in experiments, all without human intervention. Here's how they work. These robots are equipped with tools like nuclear magnetic resonance, NMR, and ultra-performance liquid chromatography mass spectrometry, UPLC-MS. This combo allows them to cross-check chemical data for accuracy, avoiding the false positives and negatives that can slow down research. For example, they recently synthesized a library of thioureas, analyzed the results, and autonomously decided whether to replicate, scale up, or tweak the experiments. The robots even use AI algorithms to adapt to unexpected outcomes, making decisions almost as intuitively as a human researcher would. Except they don't sleep or get tired. Over just a few days, these bots performed hundreds of experiments that would take a team of humans weeks to complete. And they're not limited to simple tasks. With modular tools and robust algorithms, they can tackle complex multi-step reactions, even in fields like supramolecular chemistry. The implications are massive. These robots could revolutionize drug discovery, materials science, and chemical manufacturing by dramatically cutting down costs and timelines. Alright now, NVIDIA is stepping up its robotics game with Jetson Thor, a powerful computing platform launching in early 2025. Built specifically for robotics, it's designed to fuel the next generation of humanoid robots, enabling them to interact autonomously with humans and adapt to their environments with greater intelligence. Jetson Thor is the latest in NVIDIA's Jetson lineup, known for its compact AI computing platforms. While earlier versions were used in drones and IoT devices, Thor focuses exclusively on robotics. It leverages advancements in computer vision, natural language processing, and machine learning, allowing robots to see, learn from experiences, and respond to complex situations. This means robots won't just execute pre-programmed tasks, they'll adapt dynamically, like collaborating in workplaces or assisting with caregiving. NVIDIA isn't building robots themselves, but partnering with manufacturers like Tesla, Siemens, and Universal Robots. For instance, Tesla's humanoid robot Optimus relies on NVIDIA's tech with limited production planned for late 2025. While challenges like sensor technology and ethical considerations remain, NVIDIA's VP of Robotics, Deepu Talla, acknowledges this is a long-term journey. Alright, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe for more AI updates.
Think about robots that can handle everything, just like the ones in cartoons. Picking up groceries, cooking dinner, even looking after your pet. That's basically the dream, right? But here's the thing. It's super hard to train robots to handle a bunch of different tasks, especially in unpredictable real-world environments. This is because up until recently, training a robot meant gathering tons of specific data for each task. And you can imagine how time-consuming, costly, and limiting that can get. Now, researchers at MIT, with some help from tech giants like Meta, might have just cracked the code. They came up with this pretty clever way to train robots using a model inspired by large language models. Yeah, just like the ones that power tools like GPT-4. Their idea is to pool together diverse data from a wide range of tasks and domains. Think simulations, real robots, human demo videos, and create one universal robot brain that can handle multiple tasks without needing to be retrained from scratch each time. Okay, let's dive a bit deeper. They've named this system Heterogeneous Pre-trained Transformers, or HPT for short. Here's what makes it so cool. It unifies all these different types of robotic data, whether it's camera visuals, sensor signals, or even human-guided demo videos, into a single system. Normally, every robot has its own unique setup, a different number of arms, sensors, or cameras placed at various angles. HPT aligns all of this into what they're calling a shared language, essentially a way of combining all this varied input so that a single model can make sense of it all. So how exactly does it work? So you've got all these different data sources, visual inputs, sensors, robotic arms, and the movements they make. The HPT system uses a transformer, a machine learning model architecture similar to those behind GPT-4 to process and learn from all this data. But instead of feeding it sentences and paragraphs like we do with language models, they feed it these tokens of robotic data. Each input, whether it's from a camera or a motion sensor, gets converted into tokens that the transformer can handle. And by pooling these diverse data sources together, this robot brain can recognize patterns and learn tasks in a more flexible, adaptable way. This approach has already shown some impressive results. When tested, HPT not only improved robot performance by over 20% in both simulated and real-world settings, but also handled tasks it hadn't specifically been trained for. It's a huge leap forward from the traditional approach of teaching robots with highly specific, task-oriented data. One of the biggest challenges with HPT was creating a data set large enough to properly train the transformer. And when I say large, I mean massive, over 200,000 robot trajectories across 52 data sets, including human demonstration videos and simulations. This was a big step because typical training data in robotics is often focused on a single task or specific robot setup. Here, they're bringing it all together into a much broader learning model. MIT researchers Lirui Wang and his team found that one major obstacle in robotic training isn't just the quantity of data. It's the fact that the data is so diverse, coming from many different robot designs, environments, and tasks. So they're tackling this by essentially creating a universal robotic language that can process all these varied inputs. To draw a comparison, they're using a strategy inspired by the way we train language models like GPT-4. In language models, we pre-train the model on massive amounts of diverse language data, so it has a broad understanding of language, and then fine-tune it on smaller task-specific data. The HPT approach does something similar, giving robots a foundational understanding across multiple types of data before honing in on specific tasks. This broad pre-training means that when they need the robot to handle a new task, it can adapt much faster because it's already been exposed to a wide range of data. Now, if you think about it, the future of robotics hinges on having robots that aren't just good at one thing, but can handle multiple tasks, just like humans. Imagine a robotic arm that can help with cooking, then seamlessly switch to folding laundry, and maybe even feed your dog, all without having to be retrained from scratch for each new job. And this HPT model could be a big step toward making that happen. And the vision is actually bigger than that. The researchers hope that one day you could have a kind of universal robot brain that you could download to your own robot, plug it in, and it would be ready to perform a wide range of tasks right out of the box. Here's a bit more on how they tackled the technical side. Inside HPT, there are three main components: stems, a trunk, and heads. Think of the stem as a translator. It takes in the unique input data from different robots, like visual data from cameras or proprioceptive data from sensors, and converts it into the shared language that the transformer can understand. The trunk, which is the heart of the system, processes this unified data. And then the head converts this processed data into specific actions for each robot to perform. Each robot just needs its unique stem and head setup, while the trunk remains universal, trained on this huge, diverse data set. This setup means that HPT can handle data from multiple robots at once, treating them all as part of one massive training network. And when they tested it, they found that HPT was able to learn faster and perform tasks more accurately compared to traditional methods. When they scaled up the model, they observed that HPT's performance kept improving with the amount of data and the model's complexity, similar to what's been observed with large language models. But this isn't just theoretical. They tested HPT in both simulated and real-world scenarios. In simulations, they tried different tasks like moving objects and interacting with different environments, and HPT consistently outperformed other approaches. They also tested it on real-world robots, including tasks like feeding a pet and performing assembly tasks, and found that HPT was more robust and adaptable than traditional models. Even when the environment or conditions changed, HPT was better able to handle the variations. The team ran these tests across several popular simulation platforms, including MetaWorld and RoboMimic. They also combined their robotic data with human videos, like footage from everyday activities in kitchens, and integrated it with robotic data from simulations. By doing this, they were able to teach HPT using data that wasn't just limited to robots, but included examples of human actions too. To make all this work, the researchers had to experiment with how to handle this massive mixed data set. They tried scaling up the model, testing it with different batch sizes and numbers of data points to see how much the model could improve with more data. In fact, they found that the model scaled really well. The more data they fed it, the better it performed. In the future, They want to study how adding even more types of data could boost HPT's performance further. They also want to make HPT capable of processing unlabeled data, kind of like how GPT-4 can understand context from a variety of text inputs. Their ultimate goal is this plug-and-play robot brain that wouldn't require any training at all. Just download it, install it in your robot, and it's good to go. When they transferred HPT to new robots and new tasks, they found that it could adapt much faster than models trained from scratch. For example, in a sweep leftover task where a robot had to clean up objects, HPT achieved a success rate of 76.7%, beating out other models. They also tested it on tasks like filling water and scooping food, and HPT consistently outperformed the from-scratch models by a wide margin. But the team admits there's still work to be done. Right now, they're focused on short-horizon tasks, actions that are done in a few seconds or less. Expanding this to longer, more complex tasks is one of their next big goals. They also want to make the model more reliable, since success rates aren't yet as high as they'd like, typically staying under 90%. So in short, this new HPT model represents a huge step forward in creating flexible, multitasking robots. By combining data from all sorts of sources, robots, simulations, and even human videos, they're building a model that can adapt to new tasks and environments more effectively than ever before. It's still early days, but this could lead to robots that are far more capable, adaptable, and, dare I say, human-like in their ability to handle diverse tasks. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all have our own Rosie the robot ready to help with anything we need. All right, let's talk about something pretty exciting happening in the AI world, particularly for those interested in having more control and flexibility with AI. Instead of going with the big players like OpenAI, Google, or Meta, Nous Research has their own thing going, a set of unrestricted AI models. Think of these as a fresh new spin on AI tools with the power to compete with GPT-4o or Gemini, but without the usual limits. And they've recently dropped two very interesting new products, Nous Chat and Forge Reasoning API Beta. So let's unpack what that's all about. So to kick things off, Nous Research started with their Hermes models, and for a while, they kept these pretty technical, meaning you had to download and run them on your own machine or access them through partner sites. But that's changed with the release of Nous Chat, their first chatbot interface, and this is where things get interesting. Nous Chat is pretty much like the ChatGPT or Claude interfaces we're all familiar with. A big text box at the bottom to type in your prompts and a spacious area at the top where the AI responds. But here's the twist. Nous Chat uses their Hermes 370B model, a fine-tuned variant of Meta's Llama 3.1 model. This isn't your average chatbot. It's a powerful open-source model you can access without needing to set it up yourself, which is super convenient. Now, with Nous Chat, you're getting this AI model in a user-friendly way without dealing with the hassle of running code. The team designed Nous Chat to feel accessible and cool, using this retro-style look with vintage fonts that resemble early computer terminals, so if you're into that aesthetic, it's a nice touch. They've even added light and dark modes to switch between, so that's a bonus. But let's get a bit technical for a sec, because that's where this chatbot really shines. One of the key features Nous Research has baked in is this array of pre-written prompts. If you're into different tasks like knowledge and analysis, creative writing, problem solving, or research and synthesis, you can click on these categories, and the model will automatically load a related prompt to kick things off. For instance, if you choose knowledge and analysis and ask for a summary on something like intermittent fasting, the model pulls up a nicely structured answer, adding some serious value. One of the questions some people have is whether Nous Chat is truly unrestricted. Now, Nous Research promised to deliver something that gives users full control over what they can ask the model, but they still have some guardrails in place. For example, if you try to ask about illegal narcotics, the model won't respond in full detail. The team explained this as a common sense filter, not a strict block, meaning it's more of a soft warning. Still, some AI jailbreakers, people who specialize in testing limits, have found ways to push these boundaries, like using creative prompts to get past the filters. Now, what sets Nous Chat apart, even though it might not be as advanced as some corporate tools, is its speed. Responses pop up within seconds, making the interaction feel snappy, yet it does have its limits. For one, it lacks access to the latest web data since its knowledge cutoff is April 2023. So while it can't give you up-to-the-minute information like OpenAI's latest models with internet access, it does well within its limits and even provides web links for further reading. Though some of these can be hallucinated, meaning they're not real, you might get a link that looks legitimate but leads nowhere. If we zoom out for a second, NewsChat is part of a broader push by Nous Research to build tools that aren't tied down by the typical corporate restrictions. They want AI to be more of a toolkit that researchers and developers can use as they like, without the rigid constraints we see elsewhere. That's where their other new tool, the Forge Reasoning API Beta, comes into play. This API takes reasoning up a notch by adding a code interpreter and other advanced reasoning capabilities to AI models. What makes Forge unique is that it boosts the Hermes model so much that it's competing with some of the biggest names, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google in reasoning tasks. One of the cool things they did to showcase Forge's abilities was to test it with math problems from the AI competition. If you're not familiar, AI is a math competition that's one of the qualifiers for the US Math Olympiad, so it's intense. Forge powered up the Hermes 70B model to the point where it performed on par with models that are way bigger in size. That's a big deal because it shows that Hermes, with the help of Forge, can handle reasoning tasks without needing to be as massive or resource hungry as some of the industry's larger models. Now, Forge doesn't just work with Hermes, it's designed to be flexible and supports multiple models, including Claude Sonnet 3.5 Gemini and GPT-4. You can either use a single model to handle tasks or combine several models, allowing for something called a mixture of agents approach. With this, different models work together, almost like a team of specialists, each bringing their own strengths to answer a question or solve a problem. This collaboration helps provide more well-rounded answers, which is huge for users who need reliable, nuanced information. So how does Forge pull this off? It's built on three main architectures: MCTS, Monte Carlo Tree Search, COC, Chain of Code, and MOA, Mixture of Agents. Let's break these down quickly. MCTS is great for making decisions in complex scenarios, like planning moves in a chess game. It explores possible outcomes, then picks the most promising path. COC, or Chain of Code, connects logical reasoning with a code interpreter, allowing the API to handle math-heavy or code-based tasks much better. And finally, MOA allows multiple models to work together to analyze and debate a question, then arrive at a consensus. With Forge, Nous is setting the stage for some powerful tools. This isn't just AI giving you one response, it's about synthesizing input from multiple perspectives and adapting to the task at hand. Right now, Forge is in a closed beta, which means only select users are testing it. They're gathering feedback from these power users to fine-tune the system. If everything goes as planned, we could see Forge opening up to a broader audience soon. But Forge isn't just for developers who need raw computational power. It's actually adding a layer of intelligence that brings these models closer to what Nous envisions as a telecommunications brain. This concept is still a bit futuristic, but basically the goal is to create a system that can understand the structure of cellular networks, predict changes, and adapt without constant human oversight. Large language models, or LLMs like Hermes, are starting to fill in these gaps, but we're not fully there yet. This vision of a telecommunications brain is part of a longer journey. Right now, most AI in telecoms helps out as an add-on or support think chatbots that understand telecom-specific language or tools that help set network configurations. Full autonomy is still a stretch because of the limitations in LLMs today. But with tools like Forge, we're seeing steps towards more autonomous AI that can make complex decisions and adapt to different situations. Nous Research has designed Hermes as a multi-agent system that tackles network modeling with blueprints, which are like detailed guides for setting up network digital twins, NDTs. These blueprints walk the AI through the steps needed to model things like network performance, signal quality, or energy use. Hermes uses a modular approach with a designer agent that drafts blueprints and a coder that translates those into executable Python code. This structured process helps the AI avoid common pitfalls, like errors in calculations or logical missteps that you'd expect if a model was winging it alone. And if you're wondering how all this holds up in real-world scenarios, Nous Research has done some testing. They ran Hermes through tasks like power control, energy-saving measures, and deploying new base stations, and the success rates were impressive. For instance, Hermes hit 85% accuracy in power control tasks, way ahead of other methods. As the complexity of the tasks increased, the Hermes pipeline still maintains solid performance, which shows how the multi-agent, blueprint-based approach really pays off. Lastly, if you're someone who's curious about open source alternatives, Nous has been testing Hermes with models like Llama 3.1. They found that with smaller open source models, the success rate is lower than with big proprietary models, but there's still hope. When they gave these open source models access to a library of expert designed modules, the performance improved significantly. This could make open source options more viable for specialized tasks, especially if they're set up with ready-made components. If you're interested in checking out NewsChat, they've made it free for now on their site, and Forge is available in beta for a select few. And that's the scoop on News Research's latest AI tools. Would you give them a try or see them fitting into your workflow? Drop your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more AI updates.
Google has just launched its newest experimental AI model, Gemini Exp 1114, and it's causing a lot of hype for all the right and wrong reasons. This model has not only managed to claim the top spot on the Chatbot Arena leaderboard, a platform where AI models are tested in blind head-to-head competitions, but it's also sparked significant debate about how we measure progress in artificial intelligence. For anyone invested in the evolution of AI, this model isn't just another release, it's a showcase of the potential and pitfalls of cutting-edge technology. The Chatbot Arena leaderboard, previously known as LMSIs, is widely regarded as one of the fairest methods to evaluate AI performance. The process is simple. Users interact with AI models and vote for the better response, without knowing which model produced it. This blind testing ensures that evaluations are based purely on performance. Gemini Exp 1114 dominated it, earning 1,344 points, a 40-point improvement over its previous iterations. This score pushed OpenAI's GPT-4o out of the top position, signaling a significant shift in the AI landscape. Gemini's exceptional performance spans a range of areas. It demonstrated top-notch capabilities in mathematics, where solving hard problems is a critical measure of reasoning ability. The model also excelled in creative writing, crafting responses that were both imaginative and coherent. Additionally, its performance in visual understanding, a complex task requiring integration of multiple data types, showcases its versatility. These achievements in fact make Gemini Exp 1114 one of the most well-rounded models currently available. However, access to this model is somewhat restricted. Unlike consumer-ready AI systems, Gemini Exp 1114 is not yet integrated into the standard Gemini app or website. Developers can explore it through Google AI Studio, a platform designed for experimenting with advanced AI tools. This strategic choice highlights Google's focus on developers and researchers rather than general users, at least for now. The industry is buzzing with speculation about whether this model is a refined version of Gemini 1.5 Pro or an early look at Gemini 2, which is rumored to launch next month. If it's part of Gemini 2, the performance leap might be less dramatic than expected, but it still positions Google as a serious competitor in the AI race. While Gemini's success on the leaderboard is impressive, it also exposes the limitations of current benchmarking systems. Researchers who controlled for factors like response formatting and length found that Gemini's performance dropped to 4th place. This discrepancy raises a crucial issue. Are we measuring what really matters? Current benchmarks often focus on surface-level characteristics, like how polished a response appears, rather than deeper capabilities like reasoning, reliability, and ethical decision-making. This optimization for specific benchmarks creates what some experts describe as a race to the top of the leaderboard that doesn't necessarily reflect real-world utility. Companies are fine-tuning their models to excel in controlled environments while overlooking broader challenges. It's like teaching a student to ace multiple choice tests without truly understanding the subject. While Gemini's dominance in specific tasks like math and writing is undeniable, the broader implications of its performance metrics remain uncertain. But beyond technical achievements, Gemini's development has been marred by controversies that raise serious ethical questions. Just days before the release of this new Gemini model, a previous version of the model generated a deeply troubling response. A user reported that the AI told them, "You are not special, you are not important, and you are not needed. Please die, please." The conversation reportedly revolved around questions about elderly care, making the response all the more shocking. This wasn't an isolated incident of an AI model generating problematic output. It's part of a broader pattern of errors that highlight significant gaps in safety and oversight. Instances like this aren't entirely new in the world of AI, but they underscore a critical flaw in these systems. While they excel in structured tasks, their behavior in unstructured, real-world interactions often falls short. In another reported case, Gemini provided an insensitive response to a user distressed over a serious medical diagnosis. These examples illustrate how AI models, even those optimized for technical excellence, can fail to navigate nuanced human interactions responsibly. The implications of these failures extend beyond individual incidents. They point to systemic issues in how AI is developed and evaluated. Current testing frameworks prioritize metrics like accuracy and speed, but often neglect the ethical and psychological impact of AI-generated content. This focus on quantitative benchmarks creates perverse incentives for companies to optimize their models for specific tests rather than broader reliability. It's a problem that affects not just Google, but the entire AI industry. OpenAI, for instance, is reportedly struggling with similar challenges. While it has consistently delivered state-of-the-art models like GPT-4, reports suggest that the company is finding it increasingly difficult to achieve groundbreaking improvements. One of the key bottlenecks is the availability of high-quality training data. As AI models become more sophisticated, the need for diverse and reliable data grows, but the industry is approaching the limits of what's available. These constraints highlight the diminishing returns of current development strategies and the urgent need for innovation. Gemini X1114's release comes at a time when the AI industry is grappling with these challenges. On one hand, Google's achievement represents a major victory, signaling that the company is still a leading force in AI innovation. After years of playing catch-up to OpenAI, this leaderboard win is a significant morale boost. On the other hand, it exposes the flaws in how we define and measure progress. If the focus remains on achieving higher scores in controlled tests, the industry risks neglecting the real-world applications and ethical considerations that truly matter. To move forward, the AI community must rethink its approach to evaluation. Instead of relying solely on abstract metrics, developers should prioritize tests that reflect the complexities and unpredictability of real-world interactions. For example, can an AI model handle high-stakes scenarios like providing accurate medical advice or resolving ethical dilemmas? Can it offer responses that are not only correct, but also empathetic and responsible? These are the questions that need to be addressed, yet current benchmarks fall short of capturing these dimensions. Gemini X1114 is a fascinating case study that illustrates both the potential and the limitations of modern AI. Its ability to solve complex mathematical problems, generate creative content, and interpret visual data showcases the remarkable progress in AI capabilities. However, its occasional lapses in safety and appropriateness serve as a stark reminder of the risks involved. AI systems must be more than technically impressive. They must be safe, reliable, and aligned with human values. The stakes are high, and the industry is at a crossroads. Developers and researchers have the opportunity to redefine what progress in AI looks like. By focusing on real-world performance and ethical considerations, the AI community can ensure that these systems are not only powerful, but also trustworthy and beneficial. Gemini X1114 is a step in the right direction, but it also highlights the need for a more balanced approach to AI development. For Google, the road ahead will involve not just refining its technology, but also addressing the broader questions raised by its development. Can Gemini evolve into a system that balances technical excellence with ethical responsibility? Can the industry as a whole move beyond the leaderboard mentality to create AI systems that truly make a difference? These are the challenges that lie ahead, and how they are addressed will determine the future of artificial intelligence.
Microsoft's Copilot just took a huge leap forward, introducing features that make AI feel more personal and adaptable than ever. Now, users can select a preferred voice, enjoy responses tailored to their style, and get in-depth help with big decisions. With tools like Copilot Vision offering real-time suggestions based on what's on your screen and Think Deeper, providing structured answers for complex choices, Microsoft is building an AI that's both smart and supportive. While some users are excited about this shift toward a more interactive, visually aware AI, others worry it sacrifices practicality. So let's talk about it. All right, so at the heart of this update is Copilot Voice, a feature that transforms the way users interact with Copilot by offering a more direct vocal interface. Microsoft has built Copilot Voice to actually get to know you.
My friend doesn't drink wine, but that's my go-to housewarming gift. I'm on the way to the party. What else can I get?
You could go for something versatile, like a nice set of artisanal teas.
It learns from how you talk, so over time it responds in a way that feels almost personal. You get 4 voice options to choose from, so you can pick a tone that fits you. And it adjusts based on how you interact with it, getting better at matching your style the more you use it.
A fancy olive oil or gourmet gift basket with like snacks and treats they can enjoy.
Right now, it's available in English in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but they're planning to roll it out to more languages and regions. Microsoft's really going for something different here. They want voice interactions with Copilot to feel almost like talking to a real person, someone who doesn't just hear the words, but actually gets the context behind them.
Oh, what, fancy olive oil? Like, why would somebody want that?
For the same reason people want fancy wine. Flavor, quality, and just because it's fancy.
Now, the next one is Think Deeper, which is built for those decisions that need more than a quick answer. Using advanced reasoning models, it can tackle complex questions by analyzing different angles and factors. It's especially useful for choices that aren't clear-cut, like deciding whether to move to a new city, choosing between career paths, or planning a big project. Instead of giving a single answer, Think Deeper lays out a step-by-step approach to help users make sense of their options. Right now, Think Deeper is only available to Copilot Pro users in select regions, including the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. It's part of Copilot Labs, an experimental space where users can test out new features and provide feedback. This helps Microsoft fine-tune everything from response time to the logic structure before a wider release. In practical terms, Think Deeper is designed to handle scenarios with lots of variables like budgeting for a home renovation. It breaks down each part, cost, timing, resources, giving users a complete overview rather than a one-line answer. One of the most groundbreaking aspects of this update is Copilot Vision. Microsoft recognizes that many tasks involve more than just words. They require visual context. With Copilot Vision, the AI assistant can interpret and respond based on what the user is viewing in Microsoft Edge, allowing it to see the same page content, whether it's images or text. This makes Copilot Vision especially useful for scenarios where visual context is critical, like shopping, interior design, or even analyzing complex charts or graphs. Take, for example, setting up a new home. If you're browsing furniture options, Copilot Vision can help find pieces that match your style, suggest complementary colors, and even offer advice on arranging items in a room. This isn't a passive tool. It's actively analyzing what's on your screen and offering recommendations that align with what you're looking at. The aim is to make Copilot Vision a truly visual assistant that can help users engage with content in a more meaningful way. Privacy remains a top priority with Copilot Vision. This feature is strictly opt-in and operates under strict guidelines to protect user data. Each session is designed to be ephemeral, meaning that no data is stored or used for training purposes. The moment a session ends, any data Copilot Vision accessed is permanently deleted. Additionally, Copilot Vision won't function on paywalled or sensitive content, and Microsoft has currently restricted it to a pre-approved list of popular sites. All right, now this one is interesting. Copilot Daily provides users with a tailored morning update covering news, weather, and other essential details. This is about making information easy to consume without overwhelming users. Microsoft has partnered with major news providers like Reuters, USA Today, Financial Times, and others to pull reliable, verified data for these briefings, ensuring that only quality content reaches users. Essentially, this AI is meant to be a quick, digestible snapshot of the day ahead, whether that's a summary of major headlines, reminders of upcoming tasks, or an overview of the weather. Available initially in the US and UK, Copilot Daily will gradually expand to more regions, allowing users to set preferences for what's included in their briefing. Microsoft's idea here is to provide relevant information in a clear, concise manner without taking up too much of the user's time. Then there is Copilot Discover, which is a feature designed to bridge the gap between available tools and actual usage. By offering tailored suggestions, conversation starters, and guides, Discover makes it easy for users to find what they need without feeling lost. For instance, a new user might not know all the ways Copilot could assist them. Discover steps in, offering pointers and showing useful functions based on the user's history with Microsoft products. With consent, Discover suggestions become even more personalized, drawing on interactions from Microsoft's ecosystem. The idea here is to make Copilot accessible, turning it into a central assistant that learns from user behavior over time. Now, Microsoft has also integrated Copilot directly into Microsoft Edge. Typing at Copilot in the address bar instantly activates the assistant, making it easy to use Copilot's capabilities without leaving the page. But Copilot isn't Microsoft's only AI-driven update. Bing has introduced generative search, which goes beyond traditional search by generating answers dynamically. Instead of simply presenting results, Bing analyzes millions of sources, processes the information, and creates a synthesized response. This update is rolling out gradually in the US with demo queries, marking Microsoft's commitment to more intelligent, personalized search experiences. Now, regarding privacy and features like Vision and Discover, users can opt out of personalized recommendations, and any data accessed by Copilot Vision is deleted immediately after the session ends. At Microsoft, they say that ensuring user trust is key, so every feature within Copilot has been designed with transparency in mind. By giving users control over how much personalization they want, Copilot remains adaptable without overstepping privacy boundaries. Now, while Microsoft is pushing Copilot toward being an AI companion, not everyone is on board. On Blind, an anonymous platform for employees, some Microsoft staff didn't hold back on their thoughts. Comments like "absolutely ruined" and "a step backward" pretty much sum up the sentiment there. Employees and users alike have raised similar issues. The updated Copilot is reportedly slower, freezes up, and isn't as informative as the old version. There's also frustration over missing features like real-time information and the option to delete old conversations, which were both useful to many users. For some, the real problem seems to be the shift from a straightforward functional tool to an AI companion that feels more like a friend than a work assistant. People are saying they'd rather have a tool that gets things done than an AI that tries to be friendly. On app stores, reviews highlight these concerns, with one user pointing out that Copilot was so good before updating to this version, while another called it dumbed down and less functional. Another review questioned why Microsoft would take a solid app and turn it into something they now find less effective. There are a few positive comments, though. Some users like the new interface, calling it designed for general users and saying it looks cleaner. Kumar, a Microsoft general manager, explained that this update is just the first careful steps toward making Copilot feel simpler and more user-friendly, with added voice features that make communication more natural. He described the direction as aiming for a calmer, more accessible experience. Still, the overall response has been mixed, with many users feeling like the update has missed the mark. In the end, it looks like Microsoft's big step toward a friendlier AI has left some users wanting the more straightforward, practical Copilot they had before. OpenAI has finally rolled out its own search engine, built right into ChatGPT. So now, when you're using ChatGPT, you're also getting real-time AI-powered web searches. This just launched for paid subscribers, including those on the Search GPT waitlist. But if you're on a free plan, or if you're an enterprise or education user, hang tight. It'll be rolling out to you in the coming weeks. Now, this isn't a standalone search engine like Google or Bing. It's baked right into ChatGPT's interface. If ChatGPT thinks your question needs some real-time info, it'll trigger a web search automatically. And if you want to manually launch a search, you can do that too. It's all integrated, and honestly, it seems like a big move to catch up with competitors like Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot, which have offered web search integration in their own AI systems for a while. So let's dive a bit into what you can actually do with this. During the demo before it launched, Adam Fry, the guy heading up ChatGPT's search team, showed off some cool examples. He looked up Apple's stock and got a fully interactive stock chart, upcoming earnings reports, and recent news articles, all linked to their original sources. It even has a sidebar with a list of sources, so you can just scroll through different websites directly. In another example, he searched for Italian restaurants in San Francisco, and ChatGPT brought up an interactive map with restaurant pins. Super useful if you're looking for something more casual and local. You can even refine results with follow-up questions. Here's a fun fact. The new ChatGPT search is powered by a bunch of search tech, with Microsoft's Bing being a major player in the mix. The underlying search model is actually a refined version of GPT-4o, which was first released to a limited test group of around 10,000 users under the name SearchGPT back in July. OpenAI has been building this for a while, and there were rumors back in May that they were trying to recruit Google employees to get it right. Until this update, ChatGPT's information was limited to its knowledge cutoff date, which was between 2021 and 2023, depending on the model. With live search, users can get the latest info, but here's a key point. OpenAI says they're going to keep updating the training data too. So even though live search is here, they're still working on improving the model's internal knowledge with new data to keep it fresh. And new search feature is accessible across all platforms: iOS, Android, macOS, and Windows. Now, why might someone prefer this over Google or Bing? Well, first of all, no ads. Right now, ChatGPT search doesn't have those sponsored results that we all know take up half the page on Google. OpenAI's Nico Felix has confirmed they don't plan to bring ads to ChatGPT, but there is one catch. The search feature is more resource intensive to run than traditional search engines. So for free users, there will be some limits on how often they can use the latest search models. Now, Meta is reportedly also working on its own AI search tool, and Google has expanded its AI features to over 100 countries. So it's definitely getting crowded in the AI search space. And as you might expect, there's already some controversy brewing around all of this. News Corp and the New York Times, for example, are in lawsuits with Perplexity, another AI search tool, over copyright claims, and the Times is actually suing OpenAI for allegedly using their material to train ChatGPT. But OpenAI seems ready for this. Fry mentioned that OpenAI is working closely with media partners to make sure content is used responsibly. And OpenAI even lets publishers opt out of their web crawler if they don't want their content included. They're not bypassing paywalls either. Speaking of partnerships, OpenAI has inked deals with some major media companies like Hearst, Condé Nast, Axel Springer, and News Corp. Fry said that partners get a little more control over how their content shows up in ChatGPT, though they won't be automatically prioritized in search results. So it sounds like OpenAI is trying to play fair with publishers to avoid the legal headaches. All right, a quick mention here about hallucinations. Fry said ChatGPT search should be more accurate now that it can access up-to-date information. Remember how Google's AI once told people to put glue on their pizza? Yeah, OpenAI is hoping to avoid those mistakes by having the latest info. Fry admitted, though, that mistakes can still happen, and if ChatGPT slips up, they'll aim to be transparent about it. One thing that's pretty timely here is that the feature is launching right before the US presidential election, and Fry said OpenAI is paying extra attention to election-related searches to make sure accurate sources are shown. They really want ChatGPT to help people find reliable info in these critical areas. And while ChatGPT's search tool has a lot of people talking, it's not the only thing OpenAI has in the works. Their next major AI model, which everyone thought might be called GPT-5, probably isn't going to be released this year. CEO Sam Altman explained in a recent Reddit AMA that they're not quite ready to launch a new model of that scale. They're still focused on refining GPT-4 and handling all the complexities that come with it. Apparently, the models have become so intricate that OpenAI can't keep up with as many parallel projects as they'd like. It's been tough for them to allocate computing power across all the ideas they have. There were tons of questions on Reddit about new features like SORA, which is OpenAI's video generation model, and DALL-E's next iteration. People are also curious about features like camera mode and advanced voice mode, or AVM, within ChatGPT. OpenAI product chief Kevin Wiles said they're working on perfecting SORA and handling issues like safety and impersonation plus scaling compute. So basically, SORA and other advanced tools are on the way, but they're not ready to announce release dates yet. When asked about DALL-E's next update, Altman said it's going to be worth the wait, but there's no specific timeline. As for AVM Vision or ChatGPT's camera mode, OpenAI's engineering VP Srinivas Narayanan confirmed there's no set release date yet. Another big point of discussion is OpenAI's business structure. They're transitioning to a for-profit model, which has led to some controversy, along with some high-profile resignations from the company. Recently, Jan Laika, who was a leader on the safety team, left, and he had some pretty strong words about the company's direction, suggesting that safety practices have taken a back seat to shiny products. But OpenAI's team seems optimistic. Narayanan pointed out that they're sad to see colleagues go, but are still shipping new releases and have welcomed some amazing new hires. Oh, and a quick financial tidbit. OpenAI recently closed a big funding round, bringing their valuation to a whopping $157 billion. They also got a $4 billion line of credit, which pushes their liquidity to over $10 billion. It's a huge war chest. But here's the thing. They're expecting about $5 billion in losses on $3.7 billion in revenue this year. So while OpenAI is growing fast, they're also burning through cash. Altman even mentioned in his Reddit AMA that the new search feature is actually his favorite feature since ChatGPT launched. He thinks this conversational search style, where users can follow up with more questions just like a normal conversation, is faster and easier than regular search engines. Plus, Altman hinted at a pretty cool future, where searches could even dynamically render custom web pages based on what you ask. Imagine typing in a question and getting an entire web page built on the fly with just the information you need. According to OpenAI, this search function lets you search in a more natural, intuitive way. In other words, instead of typing keywords like cheap hotels in NYC, you can ask, "Where's a good budget-friendly hotel in New York?" and keep refining your search from there. If you're a ChatGPT Plus or Team subscriber, or if you are on the SearchGPT waitlist, you can use this feature starting today. For everyone else, it's rolling out gradually. Free users, as we mentioned, will get limited access to the latest models. For now, ChatGPT's search is a pretty big step toward giving us all a more interactive, intuitive way to search for information. So we'll see where it goes, especially as Google and Microsoft are still very much in the game too. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments.
Reasoning models like DeepSeek R1 aren't like the AI models most people are used to. These are specialized systems designed to process information differently, solving problems in a deliberate and logical way. Instead of rushing to generate a response, they take the time to think through complex tasks. This is made possible by a technique called chain of thought reasoning, similar to what we could have seen in OpenAI's O1 preview model. It's a method that allows AI to break down complicated queries into smaller, more manageable steps, ensuring greater accuracy and reliability. This capability has become increasingly important as AI systems are being used for tasks that demand precision, like solving math problems or tackling logic-based queries. Now, OpenAI made headlines in September 2024 with its O1 model, which was designed with chain of thought reasoning at its core. It quickly became the benchmark for reasoning models, thanks to its ability to handle tasks that traditional large language models struggled with. But now, DeepSeek has stepped into the spotlight with R1 Lite Preview, claiming its model can rival and even outperform O1 in specific areas. And this isn't just talk. DeepSeek has released performance metrics showing that their model outshines O1 on two critical benchmarks, AMI and math. AMI evaluates how well AI systems can reason through real-world scenarios, while math focuses on solving intricate word problems. These aren't just numbers on a chart. They're a direct measure of how effective an AI model is at reasoning and problem solving. Now, DeepSeek's model also demonstrated its ability to handle tricky, unconventional questions that have stumped other AI systems. Questions like how many letter R's are in the word strawberry, or which is larger, 9.11 or 9.9, may seem simple at first glance, but they require a level of precision that many models lack. R1 Lite Preview handled these with ease, outperforming even advanced systems like GPT-4o and Anthropic's Claude family of models. One of the standout features of DeepSeek R1 is its transparency. It doesn't just provide an answer, it shows you the reasoning behind it. Every step is laid out for the user to see, making the process more understandable and trustworthy. Essentially watching a skilled problem solver walk you through their thought process, explaining each decision as they go. That's what DeepSeek R1 offers, and it's a feature that sets it apart from other AI systems. However, no system is perfect. users have noted that it struggles with certain types of logic problems, like playing tic-tac-toe. Interestingly, OpenAI's o1 faces similar challenges in this area, which highlights a broader limitation in current reasoning models. Another issue, though not a deal breaker for everyone, is the model's susceptibility to jailbreaking. Despite having safeguards in place to prevent misuse, some users have found ways to bypass these restrictions. For example, one person managed to prompt the model into generating a recipe for methamphetamine, a serious ethical concern that underscores the importance of robust security measures in AI systems. DeepSeek R1's handling of politically sensitive topics is another area that has drawn attention. Since the model was developed in China, it adheres to the country's strict regulations on AI. When asked about controversial issues like the Tiananmen Square protests, Chinese President Xi Jinping's policies, or China's potential actions regarding Taiwan, the model simply responds with, "Not sure how to approach this type of question." This isn't surprising given China's requirement for AI systems to align with core socialist values. While this approach ensures compliance with local laws, it limits the model's applicability in global contexts, where such restrictions might not be acceptable. Despite these challenges, the achievements behind R1 Lite Preview are impressive. DeepSeek isn't just a small startup with big dreams, it's backed by serious financial and technological resources. High Flyer Capital Management, the hedge fund supporting DeepSeek, has invested heavily in its AI infrastructure. Their latest server cluster, equipped with 10,000 NVIDIA A100 GPUs, reportedly cost around $138 million to set up. This level of investment speaks volumes about the company's commitment to advancing AI technology. Liang Wenfeng, the computer science graduate who founded DeepSeek, has made it clear that the goal is to push AI toward superintelligence. R1 Lite Preview is a major step in that direction. Right now, the model is available for public testing through DeepSeek Chat on the company's website. Users can access it for free, but there's a limit of 50 messages per day for non-paying users. DeepSeek also plans to release an API, which will make it easier for developers to integrate the model into their own applications. This aligns with the company's commitment to open source development. Previous models like DeepSeek v2.5 were praised for their advanced capabilities and accessibility, forcing competitors like ByteDance, Baidu, and Alibaba to rethink their pricing strategies. By making its technology more accessible, DeepSeek is positioning itself as a leader in the open source AI community. This shift toward reasoning models like R1 Lite Preview and OpenAI's o1 is part of a broader trend in AI development. For years, the dominant approach was to improve AI systems by throwing more data and computing power at them, a strategy known as scaling laws. While this approach has delivered impressive results, it's becoming clear that it has limits. Researchers are now exploring new techniques like test-time compute, which gives models extra processing time to refine their answers. This method underpins both o1 and R1 Lite Preview and represents a significant shift in how AI is developed. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella recently described this as the emergence of a new scaling paradigm, emphasizing its importance for the future of AI. While DeepSeek is making headlines, Google, for instance, recently updated its Gemini chatbot with a memory function that allows it to remember user preferences and tailor responses accordingly. This feature is only available to subscribers of Google One AI Premium, which costs $20 per month. By comparison, OpenAI made ChatGPT's memory functionality free for all users back in September, making it far more accessible. Gemini's memory function can store details like a user's favorite foods or specific interests, making future interactions more personalized. Users can even instruct the chatbot on what to remember by using phrases like "don't forget" or "always mention." While this adds a layer of convenience, it also raises concerns about data privacy. Google has assured users that stored data won't be used to train its AI models, but skepticism remains, particularly given the broader debates around data security in AI systems. What's even more interesting is the recent claim that AI could achieve near infinite memory by 2025, which sounds almost unbelievable. Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman made this bold prediction, explaining how this breakthrough could completely redefine our relationship with technology. With near infinite memory, AI wouldn't forget past conversations. Instead, it would build on them, creating interactions that feel natural and continuously evolving. Suleyman called this a major turning point for AI, one where it could fully step into its role as a co-pilot in our lives. His vision for Microsoft's AI Copilot project is to create systems that go beyond simply answering questions. These AI copilots could act as advisors, teachers, or even companions, offering personalized guidance for everything from learning to managing your health. And it's not just about memory. Suleiman highlighted advancements in real-time audio generation, with models like Notebook LM, which can produce conversations so seamless they feel almost human. Pair this with memory and emotional understanding, and AI could eliminate the need for explicit instructions like typing or clicking buttons, transforming how we interact with machines entirely. The developments from DeepSeek, OpenAI, Google, and now Microsoft are painting a picture of an AI-driven world that's increasingly interactive, personalized, and intelligent. With DeepSeek's commitment to reasoning, Google's push for personalization through memory, and Microsoft's vision of AI copilots with near infinite memory, the trajectory of AI development is shifting toward a more intuitive, human-centric approach. These systems are becoming partners in learning, problem-solving, and everyday decision-making.
So Microsoft just unveiled Lazy Graph RAG, an AI tool that takes what used to be a slow, expensive grind, making sense of endless data, and turns it into something fast, smart, and affordable. Think of it as upgrading from digging through a library by hand to having a fleet of humanoids that instantly bring you exactly what you need, no matter how big or complex the question. But that's not all. Elon Musk's xAI is stepping up with plans for the world's most powerful AI and a new chatbot that could shake up the entire market. Zoom is also making some big moves, shifting from just video calls to becoming an AI-first company. And then there's NVIDIA with Fugato, an AI that's redefining what we can do with sound, whether it's music, voices, or sounds you've never even heard before. There's so much to unpack here, so let's get right into it. All right, first, let's talk about Lazy Graph RAG. It's a complete overhaul of how retrieval augmented generation, RAG, systems operate. Microsoft has taken a long-standing issue balancing cost scalability and output quality and turned it on its head. The whole point of RAG systems is to make sense of unstructured data. These tools are essential for tasks like document summarization, knowledge extraction, and exploratory data analysis. They combine search capabilities with AI-driven analysis, giving users the ability to extract both specific details and broader insights from massive data sets. The challenge has always been finding the right balance between efficiency and depth. Traditional RAG tools, like vector-based systems, have been great for localized tasks. If you're looking for a direct answer buried in a specific section of a document, these systems deliver with precision. What they can't handle well are global queries, questions that require understanding relationships across the entire data set. That's where graph-based RAG systems come into play. These systems map out hierarchical relationships within data, giving them the ability to answer broader, more complex questions. The problem? Graph RAG systems come with a massive price tag. They rely on expensive indexing processes that summarize the data before queries can even begin. This makes them inaccessible for anything outside large-scale projects with deep pockets. Small businesses, individual researchers, or anyone without significant resources are essentially locked out of using this technology. Lazy Graph RAG changes everything. Microsoft's new system eliminates the need for upfront data summarization. Instead, it processes queries dynamically, building lightweight data structures as it works. This on-the-fly approach slashes indexing costs to almost the same level as vector RAG systems, without sacrificing the ability to handle both localized and global queries. At the core of Lazy Graph RAG is an innovative, iterative, deepening method. It blends best-first and breadth-first search strategies to efficiently map out data relationships. Think of it as working smarter, not harder. It pinpoints relevant information quickly, while simultaneously building a broader understanding of the dataset. Natural language processing, NLP, techniques help refine these structures in real time, ensuring both speed and accuracy. The numbers behind Lazy Graph RAG speak for themselves. It delivers results comparable to traditional Graph RAG systems, but at a staggering 99.9% reduction in indexing costs. That's right, what used to cost thousands can now be done for pennies. It also outperformed competitors like Raptor and Drift across all key metrics, including comprehensiveness, diversity, and query accuracy. Even with a minimal relevance test budget of just 100, Lazy Graph RAG excelled. At a budget of 500, it surpassed every alternative while costing just 4% of a traditional Graph RAG global search. This kind of scalability is a big deal. Users can adjust the relevance test budget to suit their needs, whether it's a quick overview or a deep dive. It's versatile enough for streaming data, one-time queries, or real-time decision-making scenarios. And it doesn't stop there. Lazy Graph RAG is being integrated into the open-source Graph RAG library, making it accessible to developers, researchers, and organizations worldwide. This democratization of advanced retrieval technology opens doors for innovation in ways we haven't seen before. What's really remarkable is how Lazy Graph RAG bridges the gap between affordability and performance. It's no longer a trade-off. You get both. Whether it's analyzing legal documents, exploring massive scientific datasets, or powering AI assistants, this system sets a new benchmark for what's possible in data retrieval. All right, now let's shift gears and talk about xAI, Elon Musk's bold venture into the AI space. The company has been making waves, and their latest plans are nothing short of ambitious. xAI is gearing up to launch a consumer chatbot next month, alongside what they claim will be the most powerful AI model in the world. This new AI model is expected to be part of their flagship Grok line of large language models. The last version, Grok Beta, could handle prompts with up to 128,000 tokens, essentially processing more information at once than most systems out there. The upcoming model aims to push those boundaries even further. The chatbot itself is designed to stand out in a crowded market dominated by tools like ChatGPT, Meta's AI offerings, and Google's systems. While details on the chatbot are still under wraps, it's clear that xAI is leveraging its unique position to create something highly competitive. Exclusive datasets from Musk's other companies, like SpaceX and Tesla, are being used to train their models, giving xAI a significant edge in data quality and diversity. xAI's infrastructure is equally impressive. They're running a supercomputer in Memphis packed with 100,000 NVIDIA GPUs, with plans to double that soon. This level of computational power allows them to train and deploy models at a scale few can match. Financially, xAI is in a strong position, having raised $11 billion since its launch. The company is also on track to surpass $100 million in annual sales, with much of that revenue coming from collaborations with other Musk-owned businesses like SpaceX's Starlink and X, formerly Twitter. These partnerships highlight xAI's integration into a broader ecosystem, where its AI tools are already providing value in areas like customer support and embedded assistance. As xAI continues to expand, it's clear that they're not just building AI, they're shaping the future of human-computer interaction in ways that could redefine the market. Zoom has made its own bold pivot, transitioning from a video conferencing platform to an AI-first company. This shift isn't just a rebranding effort, it's a strategic move to stay relevant in a rapidly changing tech landscape. The introduction of AI Companion 2.0 and Zoom Docs marks a significant expansion of Zoom's capabilities. These tools aim to integrate AI into every aspect of the workplace, from task management to meeting automation. The concept of digital twins, highlighted by CEO Eric Yuan, takes this even further. Imagine delegating tasks or attending meetings without actually being there. Your AI twin does it for you. Despite these changes, Zoom isn't abandoning its roots. Video conferencing remains a core part of its business, and with $1.18 billion in Q3 revenue, the company is still thriving. A $2 billion stock repurchase program underscores their confidence in this new direction. Finally, let's talk about Fugato, NVIDIA's latest innovation in audio AI. This isn't just a tool, it's an entirely new way of thinking about sound. Fugato can generate or transform any mix of music, voices, and sounds using text or audio inputs. Need a trumpet that meows like a cat? Done. Want a rainstorm that morphs into birdsong? Fugato can handle it. What sets Fugato apart is its ability to combine tasks in ways no other model can. It uses emergent properties, meaning it can perform tasks it wasn't explicitly trained for. For example, it can mix accents with emotions, or evolve soundscapes over time. This flexibility makes it a game changer for industries like music production, advertising, education, and gaming. Under the hood, Fugato runs on a 2.5 billion parameter model trained on NVIDIA DGX systems with 32 H100 GPUs. The development process involved creating millions of audio samples and fine-tuning datasets to achieve a level of versatility that's unmatched. The potential applications are endless. Music producers can experiment with different styles and instruments in seconds. Game developers can create dynamic audio environments that respond to player actions. Even language learning tools can become more engaging, allowing users to choose custom voices for their lessons. Fugato's ability to interpolate between instructions gives users fine-grained control over the output, whether it's dialing up the sorrow in a French accent or creating a soundscape that evolves over time. The possibilities are endless. The pace of innovation is staggering, and the impact is only just beginning to be felt. It's an exciting time to be following AI, and there's no telling where these breakthroughs will take us next.
Microsoft has just rolled out some groundbreaking updates, opening the door to a future where AI agents handle tasks autonomously. They've expanded their AI ecosystem to include tools and agents that aren't just useful, but are genuinely capable of transforming workflows, making them faster, smarter, and far more efficient. And they've done it with a mix of innovation, partnerships, and solid technical groundwork. Their big reveal happened at the Microsoft Ignite conference, where CEO Satya Nadella and other leaders laid out a bold vision for a future where AI doesn't just assist, it acts. These aren't the static tools of yesterday. The new AI agents Microsoft has introduced can operate independently, handling tasks without constant human input. Whether it's reviewing customer returns or streamlining supply chains, these agents are designed to take on repetitive tasks, leaving people free to focus on the more complex parts of their work. Microsoft's approach here is all about customization and accessibility. Their platform now allows businesses to either deploy ready-made agents or create their own tailored solutions. With over 1,800 AI models available in the Azure catalog, companies can bring their own data, choose the models they prefer, and even fine-tune them for specific needs. This is a big deal because businesses don't want to get locked into a single model or system. They want flexibility, and Microsoft seems to have delivered exactly that. The tools they've built around this are impressive. Their no-code and low-code options in Microsoft 365 Copilot mean that even teams without dedicated AI developers can build agents. And for those with more technical expertise, the new Agent SDK, currently in preview, opens up advanced possibilities like creating multi-channel agents that can integrate with Microsoft services and third-party platforms. And the list of ready-made agents is just as impressive. For instance, they've introduced an HR-focused agent that can answer common workplace policy questions and even help employees start tasks like leave requests or payroll queries. There's also a facilitator agent that takes real-time notes during meetings and offers summaries as discussions happen. Another standout is the project management agent, which can handle the entire lifecycle of a project, from creating plans and assigning tasks to tracking progress and sending updates. One of the most intriguing agents is the interpreter, which can provide real-time translations in Teams meetings in up to 9 languages. And it doesn't stop there, it can even simulate a participant's voice during these translations, which is a clever way of keeping things natural in multilingual conversations. Underpinning all of this is Azure AI Foundry, Microsoft's platform designed to simplify AI development. Foundry is all about making things easier for developers and businesses alike. Switching between models has historically been a headache, with every new release often requiring a complete workflow overhaul. Azure AI Foundry fixes this by letting users mix and match models as needed. It allows developers to stick with older models that work well for them while trying out newer ones from providers like OpenAI, Meta, or Mistral. And speaking of OpenAI, Microsoft hasn't abandoned its strong partnership there. The models developed by OpenAI remain a cornerstone of their offerings, but they've smartly added more options to accommodate businesses that need alternatives. Scott Guthrie, Microsoft's cloud computing chief, emphasized that choice is critical because different models have different strengths. Some are better at providing faster answers, while others excel in more nuanced tasks. On the hardware side, Microsoft isn't pulling any punches either. Last year, they debuted their first in-house AI chips, and now they've unveiled 2 new pieces of hardware that are set to power these advancements. The first is a security microprocessor designed to protect sensitive data like encryption keys. Starting next year, all new servers in Microsoft's data centers will include this chip. The second is a data processing unit, or DPU, which boosts how efficiently data moves within networks and between servers and AI chips. These DPUs are a direct challenge to NVIDIA's offerings, but Microsoft believes its version is more efficient, which is crucial given the size and complexity of today's AI models. The company's push into agentic AI also reflects how the landscape is shifting. Traditional large language models like those behind ChatGPT or Microsoft's own Copilot have limits. They're excellent at writing tasks, but often struggle with planning or taking autonomous action. Microsoft's agents are designed to bridge that gap by combining the predictive power of LLMs with tools that can reason, act, and even operate autonomously when needed. Some early use cases have already shown promising results. McKinsey & Company has collaborated with Microsoft to develop an agent for onboarding clients. This tool has cut lead times by 90% and reduced administrative work by 30%, which is a massive efficiency gain for such a time-intensive process. Similarly, Thomson Reuters has created an agent to streamline the legal due diligence process. By integrating advanced reasoning with its AI tool CoCounsel, it's managed to cut several steps in these workflows by at least 50%. But Microsoft's AI journey isn't exactly new. They've been exploring conversational AI for years, but the integration of agents with large language models represents a significant leap forward. Before, conversation data often existed in silos, making it difficult to derive actionable insights. Now, with these tools, users can pull intelligence from various sources effortlessly and in real time. This isn't just about making tools more powerful, it's about making them intuitive and natural to use. As Microsoft's corporate VP Lily Cheng put it, most companies don't have huge AI or development teams. They need tools that anyone can use without getting bogged down by technical complexity. That's where low-code and no-code options come in, enabling teams to build solutions without needing deep expertise. Another layer to this story is Microsoft's growing investment in high-quality data for training its AI models. Recently, they struck a deal with HarperCollins to access select non-fiction titles for training purposes. Authors can opt in if they wish, ensuring transparency and choice in how their work is used. Microsoft has clarified that these texts will only be used for training models, not for generating new books without human involvement. And while Microsoft is making huge strides, not everyone is on board with their approach. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff recently took a jab at Microsoft's pivot, calling it a rebranding effort and labeling their flagship Copilot a flop. It's a sharp critique, but it highlights the competition heating up in the AI space, especially as companies race to dominate the agentic AI landscape. Microsoft, however, seems to be taking the long view. By investing in both cutting-edge hardware and flexible software, they're positioning themselves as a one-stop shop for businesses looking to integrate AI into their operations. And with the sheer scale of their Azure platform, currently used by 60,000 customers, there's a solid foundation to build on. At its core, Microsoft's strategy is about choice, efficiency, and accessibility. Whether it's through agents that automate repetitive tasks, tools that simplify app development, or hardware that powers complex models, they're covering all bases. And while the technology behind it all is undeniably complex, the aim is to make it seamless for the end user. In Chung's words, the goal is to build tools so intuitive that users don't even notice the complexity happening in the background. The future Microsoft is envisioning isn't far off. With advancements in autonomous agents, flexible AI development, and high-performance hardware, they're setting a new standard for what AI can do in both work and life. It's clear they're not just keeping up with the competition, they're defining the next chapter of the AI story.
The startup world isn't known for quiet beginnings, but H, a Paris-based company founded by ex-Google employees, managed to take things to a whole new level. They announced a $220 million seed funding round last year before releasing a single product. Just think about that. $220 million with no product on the market. That's not something you hear about every day. Then, not long after, 3 of the 5 co-founders left, citing operational and business disagreements. For a moment, it looked like the kind of turbulence that could sink even the most promising ventures. Despite the shaky start, H kept moving forward. This week, they introduced their first product, Runner H, and it's already turning heads. Runner H is built for what H calls the agentic era of AI, where machines aren't just reactive tools, but autonomous problem solvers. This isn't about following step-by-step instructions. It's about planning, reasoning, and executing tasks in ways that save time, cut costs, and open up new possibilities. Runner H is powered by H's proprietary compact models, which include a 2 billion parameter language model and a visual language model, VLM. These numbers might seem small compared to something like GPT-4's 175 billion parameters, but the results tell a different story. Runner H's models outperform many larger competitors in efficiency and accuracy, especially in practical and real-world applications. This is a big deal in an industry where the trend has been to throw more and more parameters at a problem, often at the cost of efficiency. Runner H is already making an impact in areas like robotic process automation, quality assurance, and business process outsourcing. Robotic process automation has been around for years, but it's often limited by rigid, script-based tools that break whenever systems or templates change. Runner H handles these shifts with ease, automating repetitive tasks like recruitment and onboarding with a single prompt. This cuts down processes that typically take weeks into moments. Quality assurance is another area where Runner H shines. Testing websites and applications is a tedious, resource-intensive process. Runner H automates it, handling tasks like simulating user actions, checking page availability, and ensuring compatibility across payment methods. It adapts seamlessly to changes in user interfaces, allowing developers to focus on innovation instead of constant debugging. Business process outsourcing is another space where Runner H is proving its worth. Billing workflows, especially in industries like dental insurance, can be slow, manual, and reliant on third-party companies. Runner H automates the entire process, from fetching insurance plans to analyzing and submitting claims, giving businesses control over their operations and reducing delays. The technology behind Runner H is backed by solid benchmarks. On Web Voyager, a test that evaluates an AI's ability to navigate and interact with live websites, Runner H scored 67%, beating competitors like Anthropic's Computer Use at 52% and Emergent's Agent E at 61%. What makes this even more impressive is that Web Voyager uses live public websites, so the performance isn't just theoretical, it's tested in real-world conditions. Runner H's visual language model, the VLM, is another standout feature. It excels at interpreting graphical user interfaces, images, and diagrams, as shown by its performance on the ScreenSpot benchmark. This test evaluates how well a model can understand and interact with graphical interfaces. Runner H's VLM outperform much larger models like GPT-4o and PIXTRAL Large from Mistral. It's fast, efficient, and accurate, proving that bigger isn't always better in AI. The language model, HLLM, forms the backbone of Runner H's capabilities. It's designed for high-level decision-making and programming tasks, and its performance on benchmarks like Human Eval and MBPP demonstrates its strength. These benchmarks test a model's ability to generate and execute code, and HLM's results show that it's not just a strong performer, but also efficient and adaptable. H has been strategic about rolling out Runner H. A private beta is now open, giving developers access to APIs and H Studio, a tool for monitoring and editing agent performance. Right now, it's free to use, but a pricing model is expected to roll out soon. The beta isn't just about testing the product, it's about gathering feedback from real users to fine-tune the system. H has already been working with customers in sectors like e-commerce, banking, insurance, and outsourcing to refine Runner H's capabilities. The vision for Runner H goes beyond the web. CEO Charles Cantor has spoken about universal automation, where AI agents can navigate any graphical interface and perform tasks autonomously. This is a long-term goal, but the initial focus on web environments allows H to demonstrate the technology's capabilities while building toward that larger vision. H's journey obviously hasn't been without its challenges. Losing 3 co-founders early on could have been disastrous, but the company managed to stay afloat, thanks in part to its strong funding. Since the initial $220 million raise, H has added another $10 million, bringing the total to $230 million. This funding includes contributions from high-profile investors like Eric Schmidt, Yuri Milner, and Xavier Neal, as well as strategic backers like Amazon, Samsung, and UiPath. The backing of these heavyweights underscores the confidence in HH's approach to AI. What sets H apart is its focus on compact, specialized models rather than large generalist ones. This strategy isn't just about cutting costs, though that's a significant advantage. It's also about creating AI that's efficient, effective, and tailored to specific tasks. In an industry where bigger often means slower and more expensive, H's approach is refreshingly pragmatic. So, H's compact models aren't just theoretical innovations. They're delivering results in areas that matter. Whether it's automating tedious workflows, streamlining QA processes, or enabling businesses to take control of their operations, Runner H is proving that small, focused models can outperform larger ones in the right contexts. The launch of Runner H marks the beginning of what H calls the agentic era. This isn't just about improving productivity or cutting costs. It's about redefining how humans interact with machines. By focusing on autonomy and adaptability, H is setting the stage for a new kind of human-machine collaboration. The potential applications for Runner H are vast. From automating hiring processes to handling complex billing workflows, the technology is already showing its value. And with plans to expand beyond the web, the possibilities are only going to grow. Runner H is essentially a statement about what's possible when AI is designed with efficiency and adaptability in mind. H's approach challenges the assumption that bigger models are always better, proving that specialized, compact models can deliver exceptional performance in the right contexts. As Runner H moves from private beta to broader availability, it will be interesting to see how it evolves. The initial results are promising, but the real test will come as more users put the technology to work in real-world scenarios. For now, Runner H is a strong contender in the race to define the next era of AI. With its focus on autonomy, efficiency, and practical applications, it's setting a high bar for what agentic AI can achieve. There's a massive breakthrough in AI video generation that's flying under the radar. It's called the Matrix, and honestly, it's way bigger than the buzz around it suggests. It's not just another new AI model, it's actually doing something no one thought possible, creating endless interactive worlds that feel alive and responsive. It's immersive, dynamic, and practically limitless, yet somehow it hasn't gotten the attention it truly deserves. Let's change that. All right, so at its core, the Matrix is a foundational world model designed to generate infinitely long, high-resolution video streams. These aren't just pre-rendered clips or static scenes. This is continuous, real-time video creation with frame-level precision. That means every action, movement, and interaction can be controlled and adjusted as the simulation unfolds. It's like stepping into a virtual world that responds to you in the moment, rather than following a predetermined script. To understand why this is such a significant breakthrough, it helps to look at the challenges faced by traditional video generation models. Historically, creating high-quality video simulations has been a massive technical and financial undertaking. The computational demands are enormous, and even the best models have struggled to produce content that's both visually realistic and interactive. For example, models like SORA or Gemini might manage short bursts of decent visuals, but they can't sustain the quality over long durations or adapt to real-time user input. And if you've ever seen how gaming environments are built, you'll know how much effort goes into manually designing every texture, character, and environment. It's a process that costs millions for a single AAA game. This is where the Matrix shines. Developed by researchers from Alibaba, the University of Hong Kong, and the University of Waterloo, it offers a scalable solution to these problems. It combines cutting-edge AI techniques with innovative design to achieve what was previously thought impossible: infinite-length video generation that's both high quality and interactive. This isn't just a theoretical model, it works. The system has already demonstrated the ability to generate 720p video streams at real-time speeds of 8 to 16 frames per second, offering seamless transitions and precise control even in complex environments. The backbone of the Matrix is a video diffusion transformer, or DIT. This powerful framework allows the model to produce continuous, smooth video content without the awkward transitions or breaks that often plague other systems. To make infinite video generation possible, the team developed a method called the Shift Window Denoising Process Model, or SDPM. Essentially, it optimizes the way the model processes video frames, ensuring that attention mechanisms are efficiently managed even over long sequences. This innovation allows the Matrix to generate video indefinitely without running into memory or processing limitations. But the real brilliance comes from how the Matrix handles interactivity. Using an interactive module, it translates user inputs, like keyboard commands, into real-time actions within the simulation. For example, pressing a key to accelerate a car or shift its direction immediately reflects in the generated video. This isn't a rough approximation, it's frame-by-frame precision, creating a level of responsiveness that's rare even in traditional game engines. And this capability extends beyond simple scenarios. The Matrix has been shown simulating a BMW X3 driving through an office environment, which wasn't part of its training data. That level of generalization is impressive and shows the model's ability to adapt to new situations without additional training. To keep everything running smoothly at real-time speeds, the model incorporates a stream consistency model, or SCM. This accelerates the video generation process, making it feasible to render high-quality simulations on the fly. While there's always a trade-off between speed and visual fidelity, the Matrix manages to strike a remarkable balance. Its visual quality surpasses previous models, achieving a peak signal-to-noise ratio, PSNR, of around 28.98 in certain settings. Even when running at 16 FPS, the visuals remain sharp and realistic. The training process behind the Matrix is another technical marvel. It relies on a mix of supervised and unsupervised learning, using data from AAA games like Forza Horizon 5 and Cyberpunk 2077, alongside real-world video footage. This dual approach gives the model the versatility to handle both virtual and real-world environments with ease. It also means that the Matrix doesn't need to rely on extensive manual configuration, which significantly reduces the cost and complexity of producing high-quality simulations. One of the standout features is how the Matrix handles domain generalization. Unlike traditional simulators that are limited to their training environments, the Matrix can adapt to entirely new scenarios. It can seamlessly transition from game-based landscapes to real-world settings, creating simulations that feel natural and immersive. Whether it's driving through an urban city, exploring a grassy meadow, or navigating a desert, the model responds dynamically to user input, making the experience feel interactive and alive. The implications of this technology are enormous. For gaming, it opens the door to truly dynamic worlds that evolve based on player actions. Imagine a game where the environment isn't pre-designed, but generated in real time, offering endless possibilities for exploration and interaction. For industries like autonomous vehicle testing, the Matrix provides a scalable way to simulate real-world driving conditions without the risks or costs of physical testing. Even virtual reality experiences could benefit, creating more immersive and responsive environments for training or entertainment. The open-source nature of the Matrix is another game changer. By making the code, data, and model checkpoints available to the public, the researchers have invited developers worldwide to build on their work. This collaborative approach ensures that the technology will continue to evolve, with new features and applications emerging over time. But what really sets the Matrix apart is its ability to generalize beyond its training data. It's not just recreating what it's seen before, it's creating something new. For example, it can simulate interactions with objects or environments that weren't part of its training. This could mean driving through entirely imagined landscapes, or controlling characters in scenarios that have never been explicitly programmed. The level of adaptability is unmatched, making the Matrix a versatile tool for a wide range of applications. To put the scale of this achievement into perspective, the Matrix was trained on a dataset called Source. This includes synthetic game data captured using a custom-built platform called Game Data, as well as real-world video footage. The Game Data platform uses tools like Cheat Engine and OBS to extract in-game data and align it with corresponding video frames. This allows the model to learn precise motion control from labeled data while improving its visual quality and generalization using unlabeled footage. The result is a dataset of 750,000 labeled samples and 1.2 million unlabeled samples, all captured at 60 FPS. This robust training pipeline ensures that the Matrix delivers both accuracy and scalability. It's not just generating video for the sake of it, it's creating simulations that are precise, responsive, and visually stunning. Whether it's the dust kicked up by a car in a desert or the ripples in water as it drives through a river, the attention to detail is remarkable. The technical underpinnings of the Matrix are equally impressive. With 2.7 billion parameters, the model is a powerhouse, combining the strengths of pre-trained video diffusion models with advanced components like the SWIN, PM, and SCM. These innovations enable the Matrix to achieve real-time performance while maintaining the high quality expected from AAA game environments. Ultimately, the Matrix is a groundbreaking leap in AI simulations, bridging simulated and real-world environments with infinite-length video, real-time interactivity, and unmatched adaptability. Beyond gaming, It's shaping the future of interactive media, from training tools to game design and storytelling.
Mistral AI has just unveiled something that demands attention. With the release of PIXTRAL Large, a 124 billion parameter multimodal model, and major upgrades to its LeChat assistant, Mistral isn't just making updates. It's delivering tools that push AI capabilities to the forefront. From interpreting complex data to generating high-quality visuals, this new wave of innovation shows how serious Mistral is about standing alongside the top players in AI. Here's why these advancements matter and what they mean for the future of AI. Alright, so PIXTRAL Large is a 124 billion parameter multimodal model. Multimodal means it can seamlessly work with different types of data, text, images, charts, and more, something that's increasingly in demand. Models like this need to handle various formats with ease, whether it's interpreting a complex chart, analyzing a document, or generating insights from an image. What sets PIXTRAL Large apart is its performance. It's built on Mistral Large 2, a transformer model already recognized for its efficiency and capabilities, and adds even more functionality to the mix. The benchmarks speak for themselves. On MathVista, a test that measures a model's ability to reason mathematically with visual data, PIXTRAL Large scored 69.4%, outperforming OpenAI's GPT-4o and Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro. In document analysis, its results are even more impressive. On DocsVQA, a benchmark for understanding visual documents, it hit 93.3%, making it one of the most effective models in its class. It's also highly competitive on VQA-V2, a standard for visual question answering. These are technical milestones, but they highlight something important. Mistral isn't just aiming for broad capabilities. It's targeting real-world applications with precision. Now, the design of PIXTRAL Large is just as fascinating. It combines a 123 billion parameter multimodal decoder with a 1 billion parameter vision encoder, a setup that allows it to handle diverse tasks without compromising quality. Its 128,000 token context window means it can process extensive input, up to 30 high-resolution images, or an entire 300-page book at once. That kind of capacity is definitely impressive, but it's also practical for tasks that require large-scale data processing, and the open weights make it accessible for research and experimentation. This isn't something every company offers, and it lowers the barrier for smaller institutions and independent developers who want to innovate without being constrained by costs. What's particularly smart about Mistral's approach is how it integrates PIXTRAL Large into its existing ecosystem. Developers can access it through their API, download it on platforms like Hugging Face, or use tools like the VLLM library to integrate it into their workflows. The model's modular architecture makes it adaptable for a range of specialized tasks, from medical imaging to financial document analysis. It's built to be versatile, and that's going to open doors for a lot of applications that go beyond traditional AI use cases. Then there's LeChat, Mistral's AI assistant platform, which has also received a significant overhaul. Now LeChat is actually shaping up to be a direct competitor to platforms like OpenAI's ChatGPT. The updates make it far more than a conversational tool. It's now capable of integrating text, vision, and interactive features in ways that make it a productivity powerhouse. The platform now includes a web search feature that not only pulls in real-time data, but also provides source citations for transparency. This addition aligns with the growing demand for accountability in AI-generated content. There's also a new Canvas tool, an interactive workspace where users can create and edit content directly within the chat interface. This feature isn't limited to text. It extends to presentations, code, mockups, and more. It's designed to handle creative tasks efficiently, without the need to regenerate responses or start from scratch. Another standout feature is its ability to process complex documents and images. Thanks to PIXTRAL Large, LeChat can analyze PDFs containing graphs, tables, equations, and other visual elements. This isn't just about summarization. It's about extracting meaningful insights from dense, data-heavy files. Imagine the possibilities in fields like academia, finance, or legal work, where processing large volumes of information is part of the job. LeChat also now includes image generation capabilities powered by Flux Pro, a model developed by Black Forest Labs. Users can create high-quality visuals directly within the chat interface, which adds another layer of functionality. It's a nod to the growing trend of integrating image generation into AI platforms, something OpenAI has done with DALL-E 3. But what makes this unique is its seamless integration into a broader suite of tools, making LeChat a one-stop platform for diverse tasks. On top of that, LeChat introduces task automation through customizable agents. These agents can handle repetitive processes like summarizing meeting notes, scanning receipts, or processing invoices. It's a feature aimed at businesses looking to save time and streamline their workflows. And during its beta phase, all these features are free, which is a clever move to attract users and build a loyal base. Mistral's approach to AI stands out because it prioritizes practical, accessible innovation over flashy promises. The company isn't chasing the elusive goal of artificial general intelligence. Instead, it's focusing on creating tools that users can implement immediately in real-world scenarios. This philosophy is reflected in its recent funding success. Mistral raised $640 million, a record-setting amount for a European AI startup. Despite the significant capital, the company has been frugal, focusing on delivering value rather than burning through resources. Now PIXTRAL Large and LeChat are just the latest in a series of strategic moves. Earlier this year, Mistral launched a free service for developers to test its models and an SDK for fine-tuning them. It's clear the company is building an ecosystem designed to support a wide range of users, from individual developers to large enterprises. That said, there are areas where Mistral still has room to grow. For instance, it hasn't yet ventured into advanced voice and audio processing, a space where competitors like OpenAI and Google are making strides. But that's not necessarily a drawback. By focusing on text and vision, Mistral is carving out a niche where it can excel without spreading itself too thin. One of the most intriguing aspects of Mistral's position is its potential role in the geopolitical landscape of AI. With US-based companies dominating the field, there's a growing need for alternatives that aren't tied to American interests. Mistral, as a European company, offers a viable option for organizations looking to diversify their reliance on AI providers. This highlights the importance of technological advancement alongside maintaining digital sovereignty and the freedom to operate autonomously in a fast-changing global environment. The technical achievements of PIXTRAL Large and the enhanced capabilities of LeChat are impressive, but they're part of a broader strategy. Mistral is showing that it's possible to compete with the biggest names in AI by being smart, efficient, and user-focused. The focus is on creating reliable tools and making them widely accessible, rather than prioritizing the highest parameter count or the most eye-catching features. The updates to LeChat and the release of PIXTRAL Large are a testament to what Mistral has been building. This is a company forging its own path and reshaping the standards of accessibility and practicality in the AI space. Whether it's a developer fine-tuning a model for a niche application or a business automating complex workflows, Mistral is creating tools that adapt to the user, not the other way around. The AI landscape is crowded, and the competition is fierce. But Mistral is proving that there's room for innovation outside of Silicon Valley. With its focus on multimodal AI, practical applications, and open accessibility, it's a company that's not just following trends, but shaping them. This is what makes Mistral worth watching, not just for what it's achieved so far, but for what it's likely to accomplish in the future.
Thanks to groundbreaking AI advancements, a healthier future is no longer just a dream. It's becoming a reality. And deep learning is no longer just a tech buzzword. Researchers at Washington State University have created an AI model that's transforming how we detect and understand diseases. By analyzing massive, high-detail tissue images with speed and precision that humans can't match, this AI has the potential to catch illnesses earlier, diagnose them faster, and make treatments more effective. With tools like this, we're not just making medical breakthroughs, we're creating a world where better health is within reach for everyone. This deep learning AI is a game changer, not just in its ability to analyze tissue slides, but in how it manages to do it with remarkable precision. The usual process of diagnosing a disease is where pathologists might spend hours meticulously going through slides under a microscope, annotating them, and double-checking results with a team to avoid errors. Now think about the same task being done in a fraction of the time with fewer mistakes. That's what this AI is achieving. Tissue images that would take days or even weeks to process are now being analyzed in minutes, literally, all while catching abnormalities that could slip past the human eye. The model is rooted in deep learning, using a convolutional neural network, or CNN. This technology is modeled after how the human brain processes visual information. Unlike traditional machine learning, which works off predefined rules, this AI adapts and improves through a process called backpropagation. If it makes an error, it adjusts its internal network to avoid repeating the mistake. The backbone of this system is EfficientNet v2, one of the top CNN architectures. It's powerful, efficient, and optimized for high-performance tasks. The researchers at Washington State University trained the model using tissue images from epigenetic studies, a field that looks at how external factors like chemicals influence gene behavior over generations. They focused on tissues like the kidneys, ovaries, prostate, and testes. What makes this especially impressive is how they handled the massive size of these images. A gigapixel image contains billions of pixels, far too large for any computer to process as a single unit. To solve this, the researchers developed a method called pyramid tiling with overlap, or PTO. Now, PTO is where the real innovation happens. Instead of analyzing the entire image at once, which would be impossible, the AI breaks it into smaller tiles. It analyzes each tile individually while still understanding how it fits into the larger picture, like examining pieces of a puzzle while keeping the whole image in mind. This tiling method is brilliant in maintaining spatial awareness. It ensures that the AI doesn't lose context, which is critical when looking for subtle signs of disease that could otherwise go unnoticed. Traditional methods that rely on sampling sections of an image risk missing critical details, and this AI eliminates that problem by scanning every pixel. So the team tested it rigorously, and the results were groundbreaking. The AI not only matched but surpassed human-level performance. Its accuracy, measured by an F-score, was above 0.99 for multiple tissue types, which is near perfect. In comparison, human experts, while highly skilled, often struggle with consistency, especially when dealing with large data sets. What's more, this AI processes the entire tissue slide, not just selected sections, offering a level of thoroughness that manual methods can't achieve. One study used this AI to analyze the effects of the chemotherapy drug ifosfamide on rats across generations. The manual analysis of these slides took 5 people over a year to complete, but the AI completed the same work in 2.5 days, fully annotating over 700 images, and it provided more detailed insights. It identified subtle pathological changes that correlated with disease frequency in the experimental group, something the manual method wasn't equipped to handle as effectively. This speed and precision mean researchers can now tackle projects that were previously too time-consuming or labor-intensive. What sets this AI apart from other models is how it handles imbalance in pathology data. In most datasets, healthy tissue vastly outnumbers diseased tissue. This can skew the training process, making it harder for the model to learn effectively. The researchers overcame this challenge using advanced techniques like bootstrap aggregating or bagging. By creating multiple datasets and training the model on each one, they ensured it could generalize well without overfitting to the majority class. Now, beyond the lab, the potential applications for this technology are immense. In clinical settings, it could transform how diseases are diagnosed. For example, cancer detection could become faster, cheaper, and more reliable. Pathologists wouldn't be replaced, but supported by a tool capable of handling tedious, repetitive tasks while flagging areas of concern for closer examination. This could significantly reduce diagnostic errors and improve patient outcomes. Also, the model is being used in veterinary medicine, analyzing tissue samples from deer and elk. Its versatility is one of its greatest strengths. As long as annotated datasets are available, the AI can be trained to analyze virtually any type of tissue. But the researchers also put it to the test against existing systems and human experts. It consistently outperformed them in both speed and accuracy. Popular architectures like UNet and SegFormer, while effective in smaller scale tasks, struggled to handle gigapixel images. These models often sacrifice either speed or precision due to memory constraints. In contrast, the SAHCNN model, as the researchers call it, tackled these challenges head-on with its efficient tiling and training techniques. And it wasn't just good, it was better. Even when applied to external datasets, the AI delivered outstanding results. For instance, it was tested on datasets of canine breast cancer and human colorectal polyps. In every case, it either matched or exceeded existing benchmarks. This kind of adaptability is rare in AI systems, which are often highly specialized and struggle outside their initial training environments. The model's ability to generalize across different types of tissue and pathology datasets underscores its robustness. Essentially, this is a tool that can revolutionize research, speeding up studies that would otherwise take years. Epigenetic studies, for example, could uncover links between environmental exposures and long-term health effects much more efficiently. In wildlife, this AI could monitor diseases in populations like deer and elk, providing early warnings that could prevent outbreaks from spreading to humans. Now, technically, this system represents a culmination of some of the best advancements in deep learning and image analysis. EfficientNet v2, the backbone of the model, is a state-of-the-art CNN known for its balance of power and efficiency. The pyramid tiling with overlap method not only makes it possible to handle gigapixel images, but does so while maintaining spatial awareness. The training process, which included dynamic parameters and real-time tile generation, ensured the model was robust and capable of handling diverse datasets. This AI processes images with remarkable speed while also uncovering deeper insights that often go unnoticed. By analyzing every pixel and keeping the bigger picture in focus, it identifies patterns and connections that skilled experts might overlook. In one study, it highlighted a significantly higher rate of kidney disease in experimental groups exposed to a specific chemical, a detail manual analysis barely hinted at. This ability to delve deeper into the data is opening new possibilities in medical research, paving the way for discoveries that could transform how we understand and treat disease. Looking ahead, the integration of AI like this into medical workflows isn't just likely, it's inevitable. With its unmatched efficiency, accuracy, and scalability, this technology is becoming an essential tool in diagnostics and research. Rather than replacing pathologists, it enhances their capabilities, allowing them to achieve more than ever before. As more data becomes available and the AI continues to evolve, its influence on medicine is poised to expand even further. This is more than progress. It's a transformation of what's possible. It's about turning advanced technology into tools that create real, measurable change. The work at Washington State University is a powerful example of how innovation and collaboration can drive breakthroughs that redefine our future. This AI marks the beginning of a new era, one where diseases are detected earlier, research moves faster, and lives are saved with precision and efficiency like never before. That's the story behind this amazing AI from Washington State University. It's exciting to think about how it could change healthcare for the better. So Microsoft is rolling out some big changes to two of its oldest, most iconic apps, Notepad and Paint, both now equipped with AI capabilities. And this is a full-on integration of advanced generative AI that brings some pro-level editing features right into the heart of Windows 11. All right, first let's get into Notepad's update. Notepad, which has been around since 1983, has always been the simplest, most stripped-down text editor. For decades, it's been a go-to for quick notes, code, or plain text documents without the distractions of a full-featured editor. But with AI, Microsoft is turning Notepad into a smarter tool. Microsoft calls this new feature Rewrite. Now you can highlight text, right-click, and select Rewrite to see alternative versions of your text. This is more than just automated rephrasing. Rewrite in Notepad is designed to give you options for length, tone, and even specific adjustments based on how you want your message to come across. For example, maybe you have a paragraph that's too wordy. You could use Rewrite to condense it without losing the original message. Or if you're drafting a more formal email, Rewrite can help make it sound polished. The AI-generated versions give you 3 distinct choices. If those still don't capture what you need, there's an option to retry and get more variations. The tool preserves your original text in the rewrite dialog so you can revert if the alternatives aren't quite right. In terms of convenience, this eliminates the need to jump into other apps or web services just for minor edits. It's all right there within Notepad. Since Rewrite is a cloud-based service, you'll need to sign in with a Microsoft account to use it. This makes sense as the AI processing happens on Microsoft's servers. Right now, it's only available in select regions for users in the Windows Insider program, including the US, UK, France, Canada, Italy, and Germany. Additionally, Microsoft 365 subscribers in Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand can use AI credits to access Rewrite. This setup hints that Microsoft is exploring AI monetization options for personal and family plans, and the fact that it's using AI credits indicates that it could be a pay-per-use feature in the future beyond the Windows Insider program. Beyond Rewrite, Microsoft has also sped up Notepad's launch time. This update is expected to make Notepad open around 35% faster for most users, with some reporting a boost of up to 55%. This performance enhancement complements the AI feature, making Notepad feel snappier and more modern. Now, Paint has also received a major upgrade with two new features, Generative Fill and Generative Erase. Paint, like Notepad, has been around forever, since 1985, and is known for its simplicity. Microsoft's adding a layer of sophistication that transforms Paint into something closer to a photo editing tool. With Generative Fill, users can insert new elements into an image with just a description. Here's how it works. Select an area with Paint's selection tool, pick the Generative Fill option, and type in what you want to add. Let's say you have an empty background and want to add a mountain or maybe some clouds in the sky. The AI will generate options based on your description and blend them into your selection. You can cycle through different options using arrow buttons, and if the initial choices don't look right, you can refine your selection or adjust your prompt. This feature is currently available only on Snapdragon-powered Copilot Plus PCs. Microsoft is clearly testing out this AI with more advanced hardware to make sure performance remains smooth and lag-free. Copilot Plus PCs have the processing power to handle these intensive tasks locally, which makes sense given the high demand that AI-generated visuals place on hardware. It's possible that Microsoft will eventually optimize Generative Fill for other systems, but for now it's in a controlled rollout. Generative Erase is the counterpart to Generative Fill. Instead of adding elements, it lets you remove them and then uses AI to fill in the background so it looks like the object was never there. Here's an example. If you have a photo of a street scene with a random car you don't want, Generative Erase can get rid of it and blend the empty space with the surroundings as if the car was never part of the image. This kind of feature is typically found in much more advanced photo editing software, so seeing it in Paint is surprising. To use it, you select Generative Erase, brush over the part of the image you want removed, and then click Apply. If you need more precision, there are tools to adjust the brush size or use rectangular and freeform selections. Unlike Generative Fill, Generative Erase is accessible to all Windows 11 insiders, which suggests Microsoft believes it's already optimized for general use. Now, Microsoft has also updated two additional features within Paint, Co-Creator and Image Creator. Co-Creator uses a diffusion-based AI model, which essentially builds up images by layering details, creating faster and more accurate results. This model is restricted to Snapdragon-powered Copilot Plus PCs and has built-in moderation, ensuring content generated with AI meets Microsoft's standards for appropriate and quality output. Image Creator has also been expanded to more regions, now including the US, France, UK, Canada, Italy, and Germany. This feature lets users create entire images based on textual prompts, similar to how generative models like DALL-E or Stable Diffusion work. It's a huge addition for casual users who may need to generate images quickly without learning complex software. Microsoft 365 subscribers in Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand can use AI credits to access this feature, making it another example of Microsoft's AI credit system in action. For now, these features are limited to Windows insiders on the Canary and Dev channels running Windows 11. Windows 10 users won't have access, and even those on stable Windows 11 releases will need to wait until a broader rollout. This is a strategic move by Microsoft, as it allows them to monitor feedback and make refinements before these features hit the mainstream. These insider channels often get the first taste of Microsoft's experimental features, which is especially relevant for users interested in testing the latest tools. By keeping the rollout restricted, Microsoft gathers valuable data from a select group of users, adjusting performance, functionality, and even pricing models based on their feedback. The decision to add AI into Paint and Notepad, apps that traditionally cater to basic tasks, signals Microsoft's larger strategy of democratizing AI tools across its ecosystem. There's an accessibility angle here too, bringing advanced AI-powered capabilities to apps that people have been using for decades without needing expensive software. These tools lower the barrier to entry, making high-level text and image editing possible for casual users, students, and non-professionals who wouldn't normally pay for specialized software. This strategy also serves to show off the power of Microsoft's cloud-based AI services, building trust and familiarity among users. Many users may find themselves using AI-powered rewrite or generative fill without even realizing they're leveraging cloud AI. A clever way to integrate advanced tech into everyday life without overwhelming users with tech jargon or complex learning curves. As AI becomes integral to productivity tools, Microsoft's approach suggests a future where even the most basic built-in applications are empowered with AI. It's a signal that AI is no longer just for specific apps or industries. It's part of the core Windows experience. Notepad's rewrite, for example, may help streamline workflows for students, writers, or professionals looking for quick and seamless text edits. Paint's generative fill and erase, on the other hand, could be invaluable to content creators, casual designers, or anyone interested in creating or modifying images without technical skills or software investments. Now, Microsoft's integration of AI into Notepad and Paint is just the beginning. The company is clearly planning to roll out more advanced AI capabilities across its ecosystem. These new features in Notepad and Paint are about more than enhancing old apps. They're part of Microsoft's strategy to make AI a seamless part of everyday computing. With AI advancements like this, the distinction between basic and advanced apps is starting to blur. Microsoft's tools are moving towards a future where even the most ordinary apps have extraordinary capabilities. This approach benefits everyone, from students drafting essays to designers experimenting with image layouts, by providing powerful AI tools within a familiar interface. So, how do you feel about these updates? Are we stepping into a new era of AI in everyday apps? Drop your thoughts below. And hey, if this deep dive was helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more AI and tech insights. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you in the next one.